761. The Mechanical God Clan, all people are practicing. The Holy Land of Heavenly Secrets appears, Gongsun CE. Open black lens bracket. Of course, your Tao body is definitely not satisfied with the reproduction brought about by prestige. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. In the previous war, you have plundered a large amount of wealth and resources from foreign races. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. These resources are almost useless to you. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket because you can already create high-level resources yourself through the Tai Shi Dao. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Even if you need to refine primordial qi, you can already achieve self-sufficiency. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Therefore, you will not let these things pile up and mold in the warehouse, and they will all be distributed as birth subsidies. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. And the amount is huge. Ordinary people only need to have 2 children to basically have enough food and clothing. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. If they have more than 5 children, they can live a superior life. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. With more people, there are always people who need to be served, so the art of mechanical puppets is also vigorously developed in the Celestial Tin Holy Court. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. There is a race in the Transcendent Saint realm called the Mechanical God race, which has almost developed the art of mechanical creation to the pinnacle. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The place where they live has been transformed into a mechanical divine kingdom. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, even if the art of mechanics is developed to the extreme, it is difficult to threaten the other shore realm. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. So you directly sent a Tao body to capture the entire mechanical god race and use their art of mechanical creation to benefit the common people and let them focus on having children. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. In addition, a large number of schools and sects have also sprung up like mushrooms after a rain. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Your goal is to make everyone cultivate. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. In the Transcendent Saint realm, not everyone is a cultivator. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. There are still many ordinary people who are busy with life and have no time or resources to cultivate. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The exploitation of the lower class is much the same in any world. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But their talent far exceeds that of cultivators in the lower realms. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Not cultivating is too much of a waste. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Now that you have obtained the Human Emperor Palace, you are the new generation of Human Emperor. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You have the obligation to make the human race grow and prosper. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Even without the power of the myriad people, you would still do this. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Don't ask, just say it's great virtue and great kindness. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Everything is proceeding in an orderly manner. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But the actions of the Celestial Tin Holy Court made the neighboring Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty anxious. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Didn't we agree that you would submit to him? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Looking at your posture, it seems like you are planning to operate diligently. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. And with such a large scale. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. So good to the lower class. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. If the people of the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty knew, what would they think? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. After all, in the propaganda of the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty, the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty is the only pure land of the human race. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The human race in other parts of the Transcendent Saint realm are living in dire straits. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This is already a mental imprint for many people. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. If the people of the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty knew that there was a place like the Celestial Tin Holy Court. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. No, this is too dangerous. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Kangming Emperor immediately issued a warning to you, forbidding you from giving large benefits to the common people. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Of course, given your strength. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Kangming Emperor's attitude was not very strong, but rather tactful. This will encourage laziness and is not conducive to the people's struggle. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You were so angry you laughed. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Who doesn't know his little scheme? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Your own resources, you can use them however you want, it's not up to others to point fingers. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, you still need to maintain relations with the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You sent an envoy saying that this is because there are too many territories left by foreign races, and you need a large population to fill them, so these policies are only temporary, and the people will not have a good life for too long. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Upon hearing this, Kangming Emperor breathed a sigh of relief. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Don't think his behavior is strange. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Because many royal families only represent the interests of a small number of people, and most of the others are just objects of their exploitation, and they do not want them to become strong at all. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty is no exception. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Therefore, people with such great virtue and great kindness like you are rare in the world. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Perhaps this is also the reason why the human emperor palace fell into your hands. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Treasures belong to the virtuous. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The virtue of others is simply not worthy of such a treasure. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Only you are worthy of owning it. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. 3 years passed in a blink of an eye. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. In these 3 years, the new human race in the Celestial Tin Holy Court has increased by 6 or 7 times compared to the past 3 years. The effect is quite astonishing. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Your main body has also gained a lot from comprehending the second Taiji Divine Tablet. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You have improved the yin-yang reverse death art, its power has increased, and its duration has doubled, reaching 2 breaths. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. When your main body was planning to continue cultivating in seclusion, a major event suddenly occurred in the outside world, which is, the heavenly mystery Holy Land has appeared. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The heavenly mystery Holy Land, as a transcendent force, appears whenever a great calamity is approaching. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. It can be said that it is the transcendent force that ordinary other shore powerhouses can most easily come into contact with. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This time, the heavenly mystery Holy Land appeared earlier than before. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Everyone believes that it must have a big move. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. As expected, less than half a month after this news spread, the heavenly mystery Holy Land announced to the world, inviting other shore powerhouses to assist in deducing the origin of the great calamity. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This great calamity is very special, and no one knows where it originated from. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Without knowing the source, it is difficult to avoid it. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Perhaps at that time, they will die inexplicably. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The actions of the heavenly mystery Holy Land are exactly what many other shore powerhouses wanted. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Many people have gone to the heavenly mystery Holy Land. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Of course, this heavenly mystery Holy Land is its temporary stronghold in the transcendent saint realm. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The true location of the heavenly mystery Holy Land is unknown to anyone. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You naturally have hostility towards forces with the words, heavenly mystery, in their names. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Moreover, this heavenly mystery Holy Land even instigated the Heavenly God Academy to harm your sworn brother, Tianshi Saint Lord. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. So you naturally dislike it even more. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But in order to obtain information about the great calamity, you still sent a Tao body there. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. After all, the great calamity of destruction is very fierce, and you don't want to die in a muddled way. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. For the sake of your own life, it is understandable to put aside the grievances with Tianxi Saint Lord for now. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. I believe that the spirit of Tianxi Saint Lord in heaven will also understand you. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. I just don't know if the heavenly mystery Holy Land will target you after you go there. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You quickly sent a Tao body to the stronghold of the heavenly mystery Holy Land. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. It is located on a divine mountain in the 8 Desolations divine dynasty, built very grandly. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Here, you met the elder of the heavenly mystery Holy Land, an ancient one of the human race named Zon Jizi. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. He didn't pay much attention to your arrival, which made you breathe a sigh of relief. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But someone is very interested in you. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. That is the celestial mystery successor. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The celestial mystery successor is the most talented person in the younger generation of the heavenly mystery Holy Land. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Every celestial mystery successor, as long as they complete the great calamity arrangement of the heavenly mystery Holy Land, can basically serve as the next heavenly mystery Saint Lord. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. It can be said that they are a designated Saint Lord. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. And this celestial mystery successor is named Gongsun Ce. His realm is unknown, and he looks like a handsome young man with fair skin. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You can also feel a sense of pleasantness from his eyes. Close black lens bracket. 762. The origin of the catastrophe, the evil emperor's palace. The secret of the evil emperor, the struggle between the holy emperor. Gongsun Ce came before you, cupped his hands, and smiled. To be able to contend against an ancient one in the state of a sacrifice Tao is an unprecedented wonder. I have long admired Brother Liu. You didn't know what he was getting at, but you returned the pleasantries, as you don't hit someone who greets you with a smile. Soon, as a large number of experts gathered, Xuanjizi began to let everyone enter the heavenly mystery great array to jointly deduce the source of the great calamity. And Gongsun Ce presided over the array. At this moment, his realm was also revealed. He was actually a most ancient one. One must know that every celestial mystery successor is a top genius selected by the heavenly mystery Holy Land from the current great calamity. In other words, they have at most one great calamity's worth of cultivation time. The previous celestial mystery successor, whose realm was considered high, was only an ancient one. Unexpectedly, this Gongsun Ce was actually a most ancient one. Among the previous celestial mystery successors, only the third successor's cultivation could rival him. And that individual is said to have accomplished earth-shattering deeds, and all his identity information remains top secret to this day. That this Gongsun Ce could rival him, if he were an enemy, he would certainly be a significant threat. The shadow in your heart deepened a few points. Subsequently, the heavenly mystery great array began to operate, and the secrets deep within the heavenly Tao slowly started to be revealed. After 3 days and 3 nights, the heavenly mystery great array finally pinpointed the source of the heavenly Tao great calamity anomaly. It was a massive palace. Seeing its shape, it was actually 90% similar to the human emperor palace. Your heart was startled. Could the human emperor palace be the source of the destructive great calamity? If this were to spread, wouldn't you be dead for sure? Just as you were feeling uneasy, the massive palace became slightly clearer, and on the plaque outside the palace, 3 large characters were clearly written, Evil Emperor Hall. You immediately breathed a sigh of relief. So it was the Evil Emperor Hall. You just saw that the exterior was 90% similar and thought it was the human emperor palace. It seems you scared yourself. The source of the great calamity has nothing to do with you. Xuanjizi looked at the image finally deduced by the heavenly mystery great array and seemed unsurprised. He sighed. 1060 years ago, the evil energy between heaven and earth suddenly surged. At that time, the Saint Lord deduced that the evil emperor should have been born prematurely. Looking at it now, it is indeed so. I hope all fellow Taoists will work together to find the evil emperor's reincarnated body in advance, otherwise, he will cause a lot of killing. As soon as these words were spoken, the expressions of the most ancient ones present did not change. After all, most ancient ones have basically lived for several great calamities and have special channels to know some inside information. Only some ancient ones and ordinary others sure exchange thoughts and discussed endlessly. You also didn't know who this evil emperor was. Just by Xuanjizi's tone, it seemed like he was the master of the evil emperor hall. And wasn't this 1060 years ago the exact day your heaven and earth righteous chi art was perfected and you cultivated the no-leakage golden body? You didn't expect such a coincidence. But at your level, you don't believe such coincidental things exist. As soon as the heaven and earth righteous chi art was perfected, the evil emperor was born. Perhaps this is the heavenly Tao hinting at you. You are the nemesis of evil. It seems you and this evil emperor are destined for a battle. After the heavenly mystery deduction ended, Xuanjizi began to ask the guests to leave. You didn't leave immediately but found Gongsun Ce and asked him who this evil emperor was. Gongsun Ce said that this person was a great power of the demon clan who fell at the hands of the divine clan in the last great calamity and is also the one who initiated this great calamity. According to the Saint Lord's deduction, he should have reincarnated after 30,000 years, but unexpectedly, he was tens of thousands of years early. You asked curiously, so, the evil emperor is just the fuse, not the great calamity itself. Then what is the real heaven and earth great calamity? Gongsun Ce smiled without speaking, saying that you would know after a while. If you wait a while, you won't have the information advantage. You gave him a Hongmeng spiritual treasure. Gongsun Ce declined to accept it. You added 2 more. Gongsun Ce coughed and accepted them discreetly, whispering, actually, every heaven and earth great calamity revolves around killing, and this time is no exception. According to the deduction, this heaven and earth great calamity should be about competing for the position of sacred emperor. What is a sacred emperor? He is the ruler who unifies the transcendent saint realm. There have been more than a dozen sacred emperors in history, but there hasn't been a single one in the last 2 great calamities. Your human emperor palace can enhance your strength with the power of the common people. Even without the so-called sacred emperor competition, you would not stop your expansion. You just don't know what effect the evil emperor hall has, that it could become the fuse for this heaven and earth great calamity. Perhaps it also has a similar effect. You must be vigilant. At this moment, Gongsun Ce suddenly said, Brother Liu, could you also answer a question for me? You said you would answer as long as you knew. Gongsun Ce said solemnly, Brother Liu, have you ever seen the evil emperor hall before? You said decisively and without hesitation, no. Gongsun Ce's expression relaxed considerably. He patted your shoulder and smiled, then I can rest assured. After speaking, he turned and left. As the celestial mystery successor, he was proficient in all secret arts for testing lies, and your cultivation was far inferior to his, so it was impossible to lie in front of him. He originally saw you as a heaven-sent genius and thought you might have come into contact with such an important object, hence the question. Your answer was beyond his expectation, but it also lowered his guard against you a little. You, on the other hand, felt a bit strange. You are so virtuous and kind, how could you have seen such an evil object? It seems this Gongsun Ce still doesn't believe you. Subsequently, your Tao body left Celestial Mystery Mountain and returned to the Celestial Tin Holy Court. Celestial Mystery Mountain is within the territory of the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty. For safety, you left with the Celestial Destiny Book Venerable and others from the Kangming Holy Dynasty. And your main body, having learned everything from Celestial Mystery Mountain, transformed its divine sense into a human form, entered the human Emperor Palace, and came before the former golden figure, now the 5-clawed golden dragon. You asked, do you know the evil Emperor Hall? The human Emperor Palace has a mysterious origin, so perhaps it knows something about such an evil object. The 5-clawed golden dragon was startled, its voice trembling, why do you ask that? So, you recounted the events at Celestial Mystery Mountain. After hearing it, the 5-clawed golden dragon immediately shook its head like a rattle drum, saying it had never heard of it at all. You frowned slightly, not expecting this evil Emperor Hall to be so extraordinary that even the human Emperor Palace's artifact spirit knew nothing about it. It seems it is necessary to go to the 9 Bens Pavilion to inquire. After you left, the 5-clawed golden dragon let out a long sigh of relief, a strange light flashing in its eyes. It's coming soon. Burning ambition appeared in the 5-clawed golden dragon's eyes. It clenched its dragon claws and said, this time, I must take back everything I lost. 763. The Bagua God Clan, the origin of the evil Emperor Palace. Heaven's Secrets, The Way of Tai. Open black lens bracket. Leaving the human emperor palace, you grew deeply suspicious. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The five-clawed golden dragon's behavior just now was truly somewhat strange. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You hadn't doubted it before, but now you had to be 3 parts wary. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Moreover, thinking about it, the five-clawed golden dragon not letting you expose the human emperor palace was even more suspicious. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. If the human emperor palace was indeed disguised as the evil emperor hall, then your trouble would be immense. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This was the rhythm of being focused fire by all the experts in the transcendent saint realm. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Since the five-clawed golden dragon remained silent, you sent your Tao body to the 9-Benz pavilion. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The 9-Benz pavilion's spiritual fortune saint state was now under the jurisdiction of the celestial Tin Holy Court, but because of the backing of the oldest ancient one from the Azure Abyss ancient dynasty, Void Ancient Venerable, you did not act against it. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Of course, doing business on your territory definitely requires following certain rules. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. After previous negotiations, the 9-Benz pavilion agreed to provide you with intelligence for free once every 100 years. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The free opportunity had not been used yet. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. It was time to use it. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Your Tao body arrived at the 9-Benz pavilion, and the 9 Serenities Tower Master received you. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Now in front of you, she had removed her mask, revealing the face of an extremely charming beautiful woman. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Especially those watery eyes, they seemed capable of captivating souls. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You had no interest in the beautiful woman and went straight to the point. Does your 9-Benz pavilion know the origin of the evil emperor hall? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The 9 Serenities Tower Master smiled charmingly and said, Saint Lord, you have asked the right person. Due to the matter of heavenly mystery deduction, the evil emperor hall's popularity has increased unprecedentedly, and Lord Ancient Venerable has just sent us intelligence. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The origin of this evil emperor hall is related to Emperor Fu of the Bagua divine clan, a branch of the divine clan from the previous Great Tribulation. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The Bagua divine clan was extremely skilled at deduction. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. As the leader of the Bagua divine clan and a perfect other shore, Emperor Fu was naturally at the pinnacle of the Tao of deduction. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Unfortunately, he chose the wrong path, openly opposing the heavenly mystery Holy Land during the previous Great Tribulation. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Later, it not only led to the destruction of the Bagua divine clan, but even he himself could only hide and linger on. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But Emperor Fu was not resigned. He used his lifelong cultivation to deduce the whereabouts of the evil emperor hall, this primordial treasure, and left behind a prophecy: the owner of this item will destroy the heavenly mystery Holy Land. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. After speaking, he perished. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Because of Emperor Fu's prophecy, the evil emperor hall was madly scrambled for by countless experts, causing boundless slaughter in the process, thus being called the evil emperor hall by later generations. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. And its original name was lost in the long river of history. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Later, the evil emperor hall was seized by the experts of the heavenly mystery Holy Land. The heavenly mystery Holy Land found several perfect other shores and spent a full 300 million years to disintegrate the evil emperor hall. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But at a crucial moment, a core fragment was taken away by the artifact spirit and disappeared. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The heavenly mystery Holy Land has been searching for the whereabouts of this fragment for countless years. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The heavenly mystery Holy Land has calculated that the evil Emperor Hall's artifact spirit is full of hatred and will only recognize an unparalleled fierce demon as its master. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. So later, they did not hesitate to plot against the demon clan, wanting to use the evil energy of a demon clan great power to attract this fragment under the guidance of destiny. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Now that the evil Emperor Hall is about to appear, it seems that the Heavenly Mystery Holy Lands plan has largely succeeded. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Hearing the 9 Serenities Tower Master slowly recount the inside story, your mind was shaken. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. It turned out that the fuse of this great tribulation was entirely the Heavenly Mystery Holy Lands scheme. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. For their own selfish gain, they disregarded billions of living beings. This Heavenly Mystery Holy Land disgraces the name of a holy land, it is simply a Heavenly Mystery Demon Land. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Of course, you only thought this and definitely didn't dare to say it out loud. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. After all, the Heavenly Mystery Holy Land is a force established by a transcendent, and you cannot afford to provoke them. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You came here this time mainly to understand the evil Emperor Hall. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Because you suspect that the human Emperor Palace might be disguised as the evil Emperor Hall. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. To your relief, according to the 9 Serenities Tower Master, this evil Emperor Hall will only recognize an unparalleled fierce demon as its master. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Based on this point alone, the possibility of the human Emperor Palace being the evil Emperor Hall has been fundamentally ruled out. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. What kind of person are you? Don't you know yourself? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You are greatly virtuous and benevolent, doing all sorts of good deeds. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Your merit is so much it's smoking. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The evil Emperor Hall definitely won't choose you as its master. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. As for why the 5-clawed golden dragon didn't let you expose the human Emperor Palace. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. It was afraid of attracting trouble due to possessing a treasure, bringing you trouble. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. It has nothing to do with whether it's the evil Emperor Hall or not. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. So, now you can rest easy. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Knowing that you are not the fated person for this tribulation, you felt a sense of relief deep down. On the way back, you felt like you were walking with the wind. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. After all, you also don't want to go against the behemoth that is the Heavenly Mystery Holy Land. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Emperor Fu said that the Heavenly Mystery Holy Land would be destroyed by the owner of the evil Emperor Hall. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Let the owner of the evil Emperor Hall worry about that. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Regarding the evil Emperor Hall and the tribulation of destruction, you don't plan to deal with them for now. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Because you have a threat close at hand, which is the physical body tribulation. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. With your current strength, you can postpone the decline of your physical body for several hundred years. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But the 10-year agreement with the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty only has 4.5 years left. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. If you don't overcome the physical body tribulation and strengthen your power within these 4.5 years, you might find it difficult to keep the Celestial Tin Holy Court. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. At that time, losing the power of the myriad people, your strength will plummet, and overcoming the physical body tribulation will only become more difficult. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. So it is best to find the cultivation methods for Tezu Dao in the Great Simplicity Way during these 4.5 years. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The 2 Tezu Divine Tablets are in the hands of 2 royal families of the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. And you have already inquired that they are in the hands of the oldest ancient ones of the royal families, making it difficult to act for now. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. As for the Tai Divine Dipper, you had already purchased intelligence from the 9 Bens Pavilion long ago, and it was destroyed in the previous Great Tribulation, making it impossible to obtain. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, that doesn't mean there's no way at all. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You still have the Divine Descent art. Last time, you invited Taiyi Taoist to take action. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Since there is no Taiyi Divine Dipper, you can completely consult Taiyi Taoist himself. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, the Divine Descent art has strong uncertainty. If you invite other experts, it will be another huge karma. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. If you are unlucky and use it several times in a row without being able to invite Taiyi Taoist, then it will be a big problem. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You don't know how much karma you will owe. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This is also the place that worries you the most. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Suddenly, a flash of inspiration struck you, and you took out the Taiyi Divine Dipper. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This thing accidentally fell into the hands of the Hongfu Merchant Association and can predict the calamities of the sacrifice Tao realm. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But as long as enough primordial chi is injected, the answer it gives can even involve the level of the 5 great innates. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You feel that it should also contain some of the great simplicity way. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Perhaps you can gain some insights from it. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You began to try to comprehend the mysteries of the Taiyi Divine Dipper. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, a full month passed. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You didn't comprehend anything. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The interior of the Taiyi Divine Dipper was completely empty, without any great Tao power at all. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Seeing this, you were not discouraged, on the contrary, you were extremely happy. Close black lens bracket. 764. The entry of Taiyi, the ancestor of fire spirit. The 5 Tai are complete, the 8 levels of life and death. The great simplicity way, in itself, is a state of nothingness where chaos is undivided and all things are unborn. There is no time, no space, not even the concept of existence. The Taiyi Divine Dipper is a void. Doesn't that just show that it is the manifestation of the great simplicity way itself? Continue comprehending. Time flew by, and in the blink of an eye, 2.5 years passed. You finally managed to comprehend a little bit of the great simplicity way, successfully achieving entry. The great simplicity way can create existence from nothingness. This is the most overbearing ability among the 5 great innates. The Tai Shi Dao is the zone of matter, capable of transforming various substances at will. You can use ordinary materials to create divine weapons and sharp tools. But the great simplicity way does not require any matter or energy, it can directly create what you want from nothingness. Of course, you have only just entered the great simplicity way. The depth of your comprehension is far less than that of the Tai Shi Dao. But given time, it will surely shine with astonishing brilliance. Your yin and yang way has also improved significantly in the past 2.5 years. The duration of the yin-yang reverse death art has reached 3 breaths. For the Ancient One, this time is already not short, and a considerable amount of things can be done. Now, there are only 2 years left until the 10-year deadline. It's time to plan for the Tezu Divine Tablet. There are 2 Tezu Divine Tablets, held by the Fire Spirit Clan and the Mirage Clan of the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty respectively. In the hands of the Fire Spirit Clan is the upper volume of the Tezu Dao. In the hands of the Mirage Clan is the lower volume of the Tezu Dao. What you urgently need now is the upper volume, which describes the way of cultivation. You have already thoroughly investigated the details of the Fire Spirit Clan and devised corresponding countermeasures. It's just that this countermeasure is a bit risky, and if discovered, it could easily attract retaliation from the Fire Spirit ancestor. But time is pressing now, so this is the only way. Subsequently, your 9 great avatars took action. Except for 2 guarding the Celestial Tin Holy Court, the other 7 infiltrated the Fire Spirit Clan, constantly changing identities, approaching the core figure of this mission, Huayuan. Huayuan is the most talented person of the younger generation of the Fire Spirit Clan, deeply loved by the Fire Spirit ancestor. The Fire Spirit ancestor even personally taught him for a period of time. At this time, Huayuan is in seclusion, attempting to break through to the half-step other shore. For him to reach this stage at the age of 300,000 is rare in the world, truly worthy of the name of a heavenly talent. Of course, he definitely cannot be compared to you. He is a heavenly talent, while you are an anomaly and cannot be defined by conventional logic. Huayuan's place of seclusion is protected by layers of defenses. If you hadn't entered the Great Simplicity Way, you would need the right time, place, and people to infiltrate. But now it is very simple. The Great Simplicity Way can turn the shoe into reality, and also turn reality into the shoe. Your Tao body directly turned into a void. Unless facing the Ancient One or even the perfect other shore directly, other powers cannot detect any abnormality. You arrived at Huayuan and directly possessed him. Huayuan would have originally taken several hundred years to break through. Now, under your cultivation experience and heaven-defying comprehension, he completed the breakthrough in just a few days, and various auspicious signs descended from the sky. After you came out of seclusion, the clan leader and a group of clansmen congratulated you. However, the person you most wanted to see was not them, but the fire spirit ancestor. You said that you had some new questions after the breakthrough and wanted to seek guidance from the ancestor sacrificing to the Tao, hoping that the clan leader would introduce you. The clan leader did not hesitate too much and directly reported this matter to the fire spirit ancestor. After all, as the #1 heavenly talent in the clan, it is normal for Huayuan to have some privileges compared to others. The Huayuan you possessed soon met the fire spirit ancestor. The fire spirit clan is born with fire patterns and loves places of fire. As an ancient one, the fire spirit ancestor's Tao field is even located within a great sun in the sky. This was the second time Huayuan had come here. However, it was your first time here. Thousands of great suns in the transcendent saint realm are all occupied by powerful individuals. You wouldn't wander around if you had nothing to do. Of course, with your strength comparable to an ancient one, it would be perfectly fine to seize a great sun as your own territory. However, you are not the kind of person who bullies the weak. After the fire spirit ancestor saw you, he said that you were doing well and that your breakthrough was even faster than he had expected. You also exchanged some polite compliments. Then, you asked the fire spirit ancestor for the Tezu divine tablet. The Tezu Tao is the origin of spiritual life and is related to life, soul, and reincarnation. You said that the great tribulation of heaven and earth was approaching, and you wanted to try if you had a chance to comprehend the Tezu Tao to strengthen your foundation and strive to reach the other shore as soon as possible. The fire spirit ancestor frowned. The 5 great innates are the 5 stages of the evolution of the universe. Generally, only those in the other shore realm can comprehend some of their mysteries. He actually intended to let Huayuan comprehend it, but only after Huayuan broke through to the other shore. However, since Huayuan was eager to learn, he could not directly refuse. Alright, let Huayuan retreat from the difficulty. The fire spirit ancestor made up his mind, took out the Tezu divine tablet you longed for, and let you comprehend it in his Tao field. If you could enter within 10,000 years, he would let you continue to comprehend, otherwise you could only come back after breaking through to the other shore. You agreed immediately. The fire spirit ancestor actually gave you 10,000 years, how generous. If you really waited for 10,000 years, you would probably have to pack up his Tao field for him. Subsequently, you began to comprehend the Tezu divine tablet in the fire spirit ancestor's Tao field. The profound great Tao within quickly immersed you. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. You have already entered 4 of the 5 great innates, and this final Tezu Tao is easier to cultivate. It only took you 1 year to successfully enter. A mysterious fluctuation emanated from your body, causing the fire spirit ancestor to immediately open his eyes in shock. If you could enter within 7 or 8,000 years, he would be ecstatic. But now, it's only been 1 year. This was completely a shock. Because Huayuan definitely did not have such talent. He roared, "You are not Huayuan, who are you? I am your grandfather." Your Tao body materialized, and with a loud laugh, you grabbed the Tezu divine tablet, your strength soaring. With the entry into Tezu, your 5 great innates began to form a complete cycle of heaven and earth. This is the absolute beginning of everything in heaven and earth. The tribulation chi of destruction was directly expelled, unable to harm your physical body in the slightest. The moment you entered, you had already passed the physical body tribulation. You broke through to the 8th stage of birth and death. Your strength increased by more than 8 times. This does not even include the increase in combat power brought by the complete 5 great innates. 765. 10 years later, the covenant is broken. Storm is coming, 2 major alliances. Thief, you dare steal the treasure of my clan. The fire spirit ancestor roared, revealing his massive true form, which was almost as large as the great sun. It was a lava giant, and from its mouth shot various chains of order towards you. After your strength greatly increased, coupled with the complete power of the 5 great innates, even the most ancient one would find it difficult to keep you. You broke through the fire spirit ancestors' blockade and vanished from the spot. Under the ceaseless circulation of the 5 great innates' power, with just a thought, you instantly teleported back within the borders of the celestial Tin Holy Court. Good treasure, finally in my hands. Your true form happily accepted the Tezu divine tablet. A sharp light flickered in your eyes, now it depended on the actions of the other side. In the Azure Abyss ancient dynasty, the Kangming Emperor instructed his attendant, the 10-year period is up. Go ask Lu Changsheng in the royal family's secret realm when he will submit the surrender document. Yes, the attendant took the order and left. When he arrived at the place where you were comprehending the Taiji divine tablet in the royal family's secret realm, he found it empty, and even the Taiji divine tablet was gone. What, you mean he not only refused to surrender but also ran away with the Taiji divine tablet? Upon hearing the news, the Kangming Emperor was so angry his lungs were about to explode. Although he didn't know how you managed to escape through layers of defenses, this didn't stop him from wanting to kill you, this treacherous person. He immediately summoned the Celestial Destiny Book Venerable, the National Preceptor, and the Yellow Dragon Taoist, the royal family's ancestor sacrificing to the Tao, these 2 most ancient ones, and explained the situation to them. The Celestial Destiny Book Venerable was a bit surprised. You have already offended the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty, and now you refuse to surrender to the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty. Isn't this seeking your own death? He believed there might be other hidden reasons and decided to first go to the Celestial Tin Holy Court to investigate. Since the Celestial Destiny Book Venerable had spoken up, the Yellow Dragon Taoist still had to give him face. However, the Yellow Dragon Taoist also spoke harshly, saying that if the Celestial Destiny Book Venerable could not persuade you to turn back, then the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty would not be polite to you. The Celestial Destiny Book Venerable only took 2 or 3 steps, yet he crossed over 30 saint states and arrived at the headquarters of the Celestial Tin Holy Court. He questioned you, asking if the Taiji Divine Tablet was stolen by you. You openly admitted it. However, you said that you didn't steal it, but took it openly and honestly. You once conquered the Verdant Sun Saint Province and gave it to the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty, so taking a Taiji Divine Tablet is also very reasonable, right? The Celestial Destiny Book Venerable was almost laughing from anger. He didn't argue with you about whether it was stealing or taking. He asked you what your plans were, whether you really wanted to be enemies with the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty. You said there was no choice, you didn't want to live under someone else's roof either. If the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty wanted to talk, you would talk. If they wanted to fight, you would fight to the end. Seeing your strong attitude, the Celestial Destiny Book Venerable knew you were determined to go back on your word, so he coldly left with a phrase, ignorant of good and bad, and flicked his sleeve before leaving. You thought he was going to attack you. Unexpectedly, he just left a sentence. This sentence didn't sound like a threat, instead, it sounded like he regretted your making the wrong choice. This Celestial Destiny Book Venerable's attitude towards you has always been very strange. The first time you met, he said you were a human race seed. During your time with the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty, he also provided considerable help, allowing you to thrive within the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty. But now he says you are ignorant of good and bad. You don't know what's going on in this guy's head. However, from his attitude, it can be seen that he probably still appreciates you quite a bit. But you have your own interests. As the master of the Human Emperor Palace, you are definitely the future Human Emperor. If you were to surrender to other human race forces, wouldn't that be a laughing stock? Besides, you also have the great killer weapon that is the power of the myriad people. Even on the basis of your realm breakthrough and greatly increased strength, it can still increase your power several times over. Therefore, you cannot easily give up your independent status. Upon learning that the Celestial Destiny Book Venerable returned without success, the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty was no longer polite. They assembled a large army at the border, preparing to attack the Celestial Tin Holy Court. A few days later, the Fire Spirit Ancestor also found out that the person who seized the fire element was you, the Master of Celestial Tin. Seeing that the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty had fallen out with you, the Fire Spirit Ancestor immediately went to the Azure Abyss Ancient Capital and proposed that the two sides could join forces to attack the Celestial Tin Holy Court to reduce losses. As for the territory, whoever conquered it would own it. The Kangming Emperor hesitated when he saw the fire spirit ancestor arrive. If it was just the Azure Abyss Emperor dynasty unilaterally sending troops, it would only be an internal conflict within the human race. If they Lian to attack a human race force, they would probably be cursed and pointed at. There are not many things in this world that the Kangming Emperor cares about. Reputation is one of them. Thus, at the court assembly the next day, he brought up the matter and asked his ministers to discuss it. Some ministers agreed, others opposed, arguing and making his head hurt. He then asked for the opinion of the ancestor sacrificing to the Tao, the Yellow Dragon Taoist. The Yellow Dragon Taoist said that those who achieve great things do not bother with trivialities. Since the fire spirit ancestor was also willing to act, why not? Thus, the Kangming Emperor made up his mind to join forces with the fire spirit clan. The fire spirit ancestor was overjoyed upon hearing this and went to find the Kunpeng ancestor, who also had a grudge against you. With the two major races joining forces, their momentum would naturally be even more unstoppable. Within the celestial Tin Holy Court, there was also an atmosphere of impending storm. The common people were somewhat worried, but the army was sharpening its swords. In recent years, you had spared no expense in investing resources, and the army's strength had already undergone a transformation, needing a battle to prove itself. As for the top-tier combat power, you were not worried either. According to intelligence, 3 ancient ones would make a move this time. But with your increase in strength, the fusion of 3 Tao bodies now possessed the strength of the reverse death god, formed by the fusion of 9 Tao bodies last time. Moreover, the path of the 5 great innates was complete, forming an internal circulation within your body, and the duration of the reverse death god had increased tenfold, reaching 30 breaths. If they dared to come, you would surely give them a surprise. Furthermore, war mobilization is not something that happens overnight. It would take at least several years for the 2 major forces to be fully prepared. This was already extremely fast. If your Tao body were to cause some trouble in between, tisk tisk. While calmly arranging troops and formations, you took out the Tai Divine Dipper. The next calamity is the second to last difficulty among the 3 disasters, 3 tribulations, and 3 difficulties, the difficulty of the Divine Soul. Due to cultivating the Nirvana Soul Fire Sutra, your Divine Soul limit is several thousand times that of those at the same realm, infinitely close to an ancient one. Moreover, your mental realm has reached the 9th layer, Supreme. Ordinary Divine Soul difficulties, nothing more than illusions, annihilation, and curses, are completely ineffective against you. Of course, the heavenly Tao of the Saint Realm has never arranged ordinary calamities for you. You are very curious what kind of trouble the heavenly Tao will cause you in the Divine Soul difficulty. 766. The soul is in trouble, good and evil souls. Is there a traitor in the human palace? The war begins. Open black lens bracket. After you invested a massive amount of Saint crystals, the Tai Divine Dipper displayed, you will undergo the Twin Souls tribulation. The heavenly Tao will split your divine soul into a good soul and an evil soul in 10 years. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. If the good soul dominates, you will successfully pass the tribulation. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. If the evil soul dominates, the heavenly Tao will summon a perfect other sure to eliminate you. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Seeing this, you were startled. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This tribulation seems to be the Saint Realm's heavenly Tao wanting to eliminate your evil thoughts. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You perform a good deed daily, accumulating countless merits. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The current you definitely has the good soul in dominance. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. For the heavenly Tao's actions, you rarely agree. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. In the past, you always felt that the heavenly Tao was making things difficult for you, constantly trying to put you to death. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Now it seems that everything it did was for your own good. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You have misunderstood it. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, there is a balance of yin and yang in the world, and the divine soul is the same. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The greater your good thoughts, the hidden evil thoughts are certainly not small. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You are not 100% confident whether you can destroy the evil soul. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. If you cannot eliminate the evil soul, you will definitely lose yourself. Even if the heavenly Tao doesn't intervene, you will be no different from being dead. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Therefore, no matter how difficult it is, the evil soul must be eliminated. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You began to inject primordial chi, searching for a method to pass the tribulation. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Unexpectedly, after injecting for an hour, the Tai Divine Dipper only said, "Both the good soul and the evil soul are you, but the evil soul is disliked by the heavenly Tao." Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. After saying this, the Tai Divine Dipper did not provide any other answers. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You were anxious, this was not what you wanted. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. So you continued to inject primordial chi. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Anyway, you have been self-sufficient in primordial chi for a long time. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. If the Tai Divine Dipper doesn't give you some useful information, you'll stuff it to death. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. After another hour, the Tai Divine Dipper slowly displayed, "If you want the good soul to dominate and gain the heavenly Tao's recognition, you must seal the human emperor palace." Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. What does this have to do with the human emperor palace? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Could it be that this human emperor palace will help the evil soul? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You frowned. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. That shouldn't be the case. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The human emperor palace, from the initial Hongmeng Dao palace, has accompanied you in your growth until now. Has it not been influenced by your good soul? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You are quite confident in your personal charm. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. After following you for so long, even a stone should have been warmed up. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Therefore, you have never doubted the loyalty of the human emperor palace. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But the predictions of the Tai Divine Dipper have never been wrong. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. For a moment, your emotions were complex, and it was difficult to make a decision. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Anyway, right now, either the Tai Divine Dipper has a problem, or the human emperor palace has a problem. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. It's impossible that you have a problem, right? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You are greatly virtuous and benevolent. You are the good soul and the evil soul, can't you even distinguish between them? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. So the problem can only be with the Tai Divine Dipper or the human emperor palace. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. After a period of internal struggle, you finally decided to trust the human emperor palace and not seal it. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. After all, the Tai Divine Dipper was only obtained by you in the transcendent saint realm. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. While the human emperor palace has accompanied you all the way from weakness until now. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Your trust in it is definitely deeper. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Even if the human emperor palace really has a problem and will help the evil soul deal with you, the good soul. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Then the evil soul will eventually die by the hands of the heavenly Tao. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. At most, this simulation will end. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. And using one simulation opportunity to discover that the human emperor palace is a traitor is quite worthwhile. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. It's better than a real-life explosion later. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. So, you decided to take a gamble. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. 6 years passed in a flash. Under your Tao body's interference, the Fire Spirit clan and the Azure Abyss ancient dynasty still haven't completed their war mobilization. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Only the highly mobile Kunpeng clan has deployed all their forces to the border as expected, ready to attack at any time. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. In these 6 years, plus the previous years, your fertility encouragement policy has been in effect for 14 years. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The human race population in the celestial tin holy court has directly doubled, which is quite astonishing. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Now your policy of universal cultivation is also showing initial results, with the number of human race who have broken through increasing by more than 10 times compared to before. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Your power of the people has increased significantly, boosting your strength by about 30%. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Your current strength is extremely terrifying. It is quite difficult to increase by 30% in such a short time. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Due to your Tao body's continuous internal sabotage, including but not limited to assassinating key personnel, disrupting logistics, spreading false orders, etc. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The Fire Spirit clan and the Azure Abyss Emperor dynasty don't know when they will be ready. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The Kunpeng ancestor is an impatient person and was a bit anxious seeing this. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. He suggested that other shore realm powerhouses should transport the troops and launch a lightning war against the celestial tin holy court first, then slowly catch up with logistics. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. His proposal was affirmed by the Fire Spirit clan and the Azure Abyss ancient dynasty. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Other shore realm powerhouses are of noble status and generally wouldn't do such menial tasks as transporting troops. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But now the situation demands it, so they have no choice. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Soon, large numbers of troops were continuously sent to the border and began to directly attack the territory of the celestial tin holy court. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The great battle finally erupted. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The territory of the celestial tin holy court, in the transcendent saint realm, is at least ranked 5th. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Countless pairs of eyes were closely watching this battle. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, they were soon shocked. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. In the celestial tin holy court, even the most ordinary soldiers were uniformly equipped with chaotic treasures. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Chaotic treasures are usually magical artifacts used by great Tao realm cultivators. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. And the celestial tin holy court currently has 2 billion troops. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Among them, there are only about 50 million great Tao realm cultivators. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Most are below the great Tao realm. Giving each of these people a chaotic treasure is simply a waste of resources. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The key is that many people have more than one chaotic treasure. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The equipment gap between the two sides is simply unimaginably large. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. And what was even more astonishing was yet to come. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The armies of great Tao realm cultivators were all using Vault of Heaven treasures. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. And the sacrificed Tao realm armies were basically using top-tier Vault of Heaven treasures. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. As soon as the two armies met, the armies of the Fire Spirit clan, the Kunpeng clan, and the Azure Abyss ancient dynasty were directly annihilated with overwhelming force. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The high-ranking officials of the Fire Spirit clan, the Kunpeng clan, and the Azure Abyss ancient dynasty were furious at this sight. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. They came to plunder and seize territory, not to be slaughtered. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Many other shore realm powerhouses couldn't help but personally enter the fray. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Generally speaking, on the battlefield, it's king against king, general against general, soldier against soldier. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. These other shore realm powerhouses attacking ordinary soldiers were clearly doing so because they were distressed by the losses. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. In terms of high-end combat power, you also have quite a bit. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Most of the human race other shore realm powerhouses captured in previous wars have been subdued by you through a combination of soft and hard tactics. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. There are over a dozen of them. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. They are enough to relieve you of a lot of pressure. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. In addition, your Tao body has also refined many formations and talismans specifically targeting the other shore realm. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. These can basically block this wave of high-level attacks, making it difficult to affect the middle and lower-level soldiers. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. As for the Fire Spirit Ancestor, the Kunpeng Ancestor, and the Yellow Dragon Taoist, the three most ancient ones, they originally planned to let the army gain an advantage on the battlefield before attacking you. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Now it seems that they must attack you first to relieve the pressure on the army. Close black lens bracket. 767. 1 against 3, a complete victory. Attack Kangming, the Fruit of Heaven. Open black lens bracket. Fire Spirit Ancestor, Kunpeng Ancestor, and Yellow Dragon Taoist bypassed the battlefield and charged directly towards you in the rear. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You smiled slightly, and 3 terrifying figures rose from behind you to meet them. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Fire Spirit Ancestor and the others recognized that this was the secret technique you used last time with the Black-White Academy. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. They were surprised that you could condense 3 of them. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Fortunately, this method didn't last long, and its power had only just reached the level of the Ancient Ones, making it difficult to pose a threat to them. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. They each found a reverse death god and intended to wear him down. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, unexpectedly, the weakest of the 3, Fire Spirit Ancestor, was sent flying with a single blow. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. He was shocked, not expecting the monsters you created to not only increase in number but also become stronger in power. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Kunpeng Ancestor and Yellow Dragon Taoist also felt deeply troubled. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. They originally intended to defeat him, but now it seemed they could only drag him to his death. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Time flew by, and 10 breaths passed in the blink of an eye. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. For a battle between ancient ones, this seemed extremely long. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The 3 ancient ones and the 3 reverse death gods had already exchanged thousands of blows respectively. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Moreover, for Kunpeng Ancestor, he held back, because at this level, trump cards would not be easily revealed. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But the reverse death gods had no scruples, attacking with all their might, fearless of death, making the 3 ancient ones suffer immensely. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The weakest, Fire Spirit Ancestor, was already severely wounded and on the verge of losing combat effectiveness. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Retreat. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Yellow Dragon Taoist roared and was the first to withdraw. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. If they continued fighting, it would turn into 3 against 2. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. And these reverse death gods showed no signs of weakening. Who knew how long they could last? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. As the 3 ancient ones retreated, the armies of the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty and the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty also sounded the gongs to retreat. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The forces secretly observing the battle were greatly astonished. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This result was beyond everyone's expectations. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. They had thought the Celestial Tin Holy Court was doomed. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Unexpectedly, facing 3 ancient ones, the Celestial Tin Holy Court ultimately achieved a great victory. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This was simply too terrifying. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Especially you, the Lord of the Holy Court, your trump cards seem to be inexhaustible. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Of course, you wouldn't agree to their desire to retreat so easily. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You ordered your army to attack the Verdant Sun Saint Province and Shuanan Saint Province of the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. If they were defeated, how could they not cede some territory to you? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. As for the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty, you didn't continue the attack. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty had 8 great royal clans, and only 2 of them had acted this time. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You also didn't want to overly provoke it. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty was different. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Although it also had several ancient ones. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But the human race was prone to infighting. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. If the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty lost territory, the other Ancient One forces would only blame Kangming Emperor for his poor military command, rather than pay a price to help him reclaim the territory. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Back then, the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty seized the territory of several saint states from the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Those human race Ancient One forces remained indifferent, didn't they? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Anyway, as long as their own territory wasn't lost, it was fine. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. A few days later, Celestial Destiny Book Venerable came to seek you, hoping your army would cease hostilities and not push your luck. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You said that this time, the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty allied with foreign races and actively attacked you, and it would be difficult to explain to the people of the Holy Court if you didn't occupy some territory. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Celestial Destiny Book Venerable said, "It is true that the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty was wrong in this matter, but are you entirely blameless?" Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. If you had fulfilled the agreement and submitted to the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty, would there have been any subsequent events? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You laughed. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You said that if you were to truly submit to such an ancient dynasty that could ally with foreign races to attack its own kind, it would be your disgrace. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Seeing that Celestial Destiny Book Venerable wanted to say more, you waved your hand and said, "What you can't get on the battlefield, don't even think about getting at the negotiating table. Show me what you've got." Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Celestial Destiny Book Venerable sighed and had no choice but to leave. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. 3 months later, your army advanced rapidly and successfully occupied the Verdant Sun Saint Province and Shuanan Saint Province. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty didn't feel pained about the Verdant Sun Saint Province. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. After all, you had given it to him not long ago. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But Shuanan Saint Province was a military stronghold with many dangerous strategic points and fortresses. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. To the south of Shuanan Saint Province was a vast, boundless plain, covering an area of 5 saint states. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Once Shuanan Saint Province was lost, these 5 great saint states would have no natural defenses. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This was what was truly fatal. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty sent an envoy, expressing willingness to exchange treasures for the return of Shuanan Saint Province. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But you refused. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, you were about to face the soul tribulation and didn't want to remain in a state of war with the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. If the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty were to ally with the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty again, it would pose a significant threat to you. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You told the envoy that although Shuanan Saint Province would not be returned, you could sign a non-aggression treaty with the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Within 100,000 years, you would absolutely not attack the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty again, and if necessary, the two could form an alliance to face external threats together. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. After the envoy returned and reported, Kangming Emperor convened another court meeting to discuss the matter. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. He had expected a large number of civil and military officials to oppose, but unexpectedly, this time there were quite a few voices of support, many of whom were important court officials. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This was the result of your Tao body's efforts. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Your Tao body hadn't been idle during this time. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. He had secretly replaced many important officials, especially those who were staunchly in favor of war. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. By replacing them and winning over the moderates and compromisers, there were naturally many voices of approval. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Since so many people agreed, Kangming Emperor went along with the flow and agreed. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. As for what happens after 100,000 years, that can be discussed then. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Anyway, Yellow Dragon Taoist had no intention of acting, so what could he, the Emperor, do? He could only compromise and concede. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You also didn't expect it to be even smoother than you had imagined, so you sent an envoy to the border to sign the treaty. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. There hasn't been much movement from the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty recently. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The demon disaster within their territory still hasn't disappeared. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Currently, they don't seem to have any plans to increase the stakes against you. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Time flew by, and 3 years passed in the blink of an eye. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Both your Great Simplicity Way and Tezu Dao have made progress. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. And on this day, the Heavenly Mystery Holy Land's stronghold in the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty released a major piece of news. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. That is, the cause of this great catastrophe was the unification of the Transcendent Saint Realm and the Jung Duo struggle for the position of Sacred Emperor. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Sacred Emperor is a heavenly Tao fruit position. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. It is not a simple title. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. With the blessing of the Sacred Emperor fruit position, one's strength will increase several times. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, the Transcendent Saint Realm has many forces, and becoming the Sacred Emperor is not easy. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Moreover, increasing strength several times would not necessarily cause people to fight to the death. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Could there be something special about this Sacred Emperor position? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You already knew from Gongsun Ce that the cause of this great destruction tribulation was the struggle for the position of Sacred Emperor. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But you were also curious about the reason behind it. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, since Celestial Mystery Mountain has released the information, you believe it will not keep people in suspense forever and will definitely reveal the reason. Close black lens bracket. 768. Transcend hope and slowly become king. The evil spirit is born and the 5-clawed golden dragon is confused. As expected, it wasn't long. The Heavenly Mystery Holy Land's stronghold, Celestial Mystery Mountain, once again released news, stating that the ancestor had issued a decree, and this time, the person who would transcend would hold the status of a sacred emperor. The ancestor of the Heavenly Mystery Holy Land was naturally the transcendent being who created the Heavenly Mystery Holy Land. Since he said so, the reliability is beyond doubt. The Sacred Emperor fruit position held little appeal for many, but the opportunity for transcendence was enough to drive all living beings into a frenzy. As the news spread, bloody storms began to sweep across the Transcendent Saint Realm. In contrast, the Celestial Tin Holy Court was exceptionally peaceful. This was because your location was bordered by the sea to the east, and completely surrounded on the other 3 sides by the 3 Ancient One forces, the Suppressing Mountain Divine Court, the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty, and the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty. There was simply no room for territorial expansion. Previously, your location served as a buffer zone between the 3 major forces. The 3 forces mediated from within, creating a delicate balance that prevented this area from being completely swallowed up. If you hadn't emerged as a dark horse and unified this area, it would have likely been engulfed in war long ago. However, it's better to let them fight to the death first. You still need to deal with the evil soul tribulation and the future heavenly Tao tribulation. Building high walls, accumulating ample provisions, and delaying the claim to kingship. For you, this is the best choice. Besides, you aren't that interested in the Sacred Emperor position. What you value most is the human Emperor Palace's power of the myriad people. The Sacred Emperor fruit position is merely the icing on the cake for you. The power of the myriad people is far more useful to you than it is. Even if the celestial Tin Holy Court wasn't in its current location, you wouldn't enter the fray too early and engage in widespread conquest. Because you would feel heartache if too many human race warriors died. The loss of the power of the myriad people is one aspect. Another aspect is that you cherish your people like your own children and don't want to see excessive casualties and families broken. Now, in less than a year, your evil soul will emerge. Your main body has been staying in the human emperor palace, ready for anything. Another 9 months passed. You faintly felt a sense of tearing in your soul. It was as if another you was about to be born. The evil soul tribulation has finally arrived. In the past, you fought against Tiondo and against the earth. No matter what, the enemy was always outside. But this time is completely different, the enemy is yourself. You can foresee that this battle will be extremely difficult. To prevent the evil soul from affecting your 9 great avatars, you put away all of your 9 great avatars. You also sealed away all of your magic treasures. Because if you can use them, the evil soul can definitely use them too. Aside from the human emperor palace, you sealed away everything that could provide assistance. The purpose was to not give the evil soul any opportunity. Half a month later, your soul split into 2 parts. One part was dominated by your previous consciousness. The other part was the evil thought that you had suppressed for a long time. As soon as he appeared, he said, "The bitter sea is boundless, turn back and you will reach the other shore." Damn it, why is this guy stealing your lines? This pretense, you were speechless. You actively attacked him, wanting to devour him. But everything you knew, he knew too. The two of you fought fiercely in the sea of consciousness for a long time, without a clear victor. He laughed and said, "I am you, and you are me, how could you possibly devour me?" Yes, this was indeed what troubled you the most. You asked him if you could coexist peacefully. Unexpectedly, the other party righteously declared, "No. These years, I have witnessed the countless crimes you have committed, I cannot let you continue to harm the world." His tone made it sound like he was the good soul and you were the evil soul. Of course, no evil person would call themselves evil. You were not surprised that he didn't admit it, and even counterattacked. But you also had a trump card, which was the human emperor palace. Over the years, the human emperor palace had swallowed 60 to 70 other shore beings from other races, its strength was not to be underestimated. You directly summoned the 5-clawed golden dragon and asked him to help you suppress the evil soul. When the 5-clawed golden dragon appeared, looking at the 2 souls, he was a little surprised. "How are there 2 masters?" You sternly said, "He is the evil soul, quickly help me suppress him." Unexpectedly, upon hearing this, the 5-clawed golden dragon instead looked at you with fierce eyes. Your heart sank. Damn it, could it be that the Tai Divine Dipper was right? Is this guy really problematic? You thought that having followed you for so long, it would be as kind as you. Unexpectedly, he still chose to assist the wicked. Your evil soul saw this and laughed heartily. He laughed and said, "Didn't expect this, even the human emperor palace doesn't help you. You have committed numerous evil deeds, presumably the human emperor palace has long been dissatisfied with you, today is the end of you, the evil soul." As soon as these words were spoken, the 5-clawed golden dragon became confused, he hesitated and said, "Which one of you is the evil soul?" Your good and evil souls were stunned, then simultaneously pointed at each other. This made the 5-clawed golden dragon even more confused. You said, "Do you want to help the evil soul or the good soul? Give me a straight answer." The 5-clawed golden dragon, full of righteousness, raised his head and said, "I have followed my master in doing good and accumulating virtue for a long time, of course I will help the good soul suppress the evil soul." You were overjoyed upon hearing this. So you had misunderstood him. Just now when he looked at you with fierce eyes, you thought he was going to attack you. Just now, he probably didn't recognize you and thought you were the evil soul. Next, both your good and evil souls tried their best to prove that they were the good soul. You both had the same authority over the human emperor palace, only the artifact spirit could make the decisive judgment. Therefore, you had to win the 5-clawed golden dragon over to your side. However, the evil soul opposite had truly amazing acting skills, constantly playing the role of the good soul. The 5-clawed golden dragon couldn't distinguish who was good and who was evil between you. Suddenly, a flash of inspiration struck him, and he said that the 2 masters didn't need to argue anymore, he had a method to distinguish good from evil. He quickly grabbed another shore being from another race that hadn't been refined yet. In front of your 2 souls, he bit off its head in one go. At that very moment, your expression remained normal, while the evil soul opposite showed a look of unbearable pain. Unexpectedly, the other party's disguise was so high. You secretly thought it was bad and immediately also showed a look of unbearable pain. The five-clawed golden dragon laughed heartily. He already had an idea. To confirm, he said to you again, although both of you masters show a look of unbearable pain, why were you a beat slower than him? This, that, your gaze darted around, stammering. Before you could make sense of it, the evil soul jumped out and attacked you first. Does this even need to be said? Of course, he learned from me, that's why he was a beat slower. As an evil soul, how could he have sympathy? You flushed red and said it was slander, complete slander. Sympathy also comes in order. Your sympathy just comes a little slower than ordinary people. Is there a problem with that? On the contrary, the other party's sympathy came so quickly, it's clearly a pretense. 769. The good soul wins, and the way of heaven recognizes the wrong person. 9 levels of life and death, the ultimate balance. Open black lens bracket. The five-clawed golden dragon said, there's no need to argue anymore. I already know who is good and who is evil. Open black lens bracket. Both of your souls look towards the five-clawed golden dragon. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The five-clawed golden dragon raised its dragon claw and pointed towards you, saying that you were the good soul. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The evil soul expressed dissatisfaction and asked the five-clawed golden dragon on what basis it made such a judgment. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The five-clawed golden dragon coldly snorted, not having mercy on foreign races is a great evil towards the human race. As the human emperor, if you are not the good soul, then who is? Open black lens bracket. You nodded with satisfaction. You hadn't expected this fellow to be quite enlightened. That was exactly the logic. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Afterwards, it began to use the power of the human emperor palace to help you suppress the evil soul. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. With the assistance of the five-clawed golden dragon, you quickly sealed the evil soul and then began to devour it. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. During the process of devouring, the evil soul was still shouting that he was the good soul. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This made you involuntarily speed up the devouring process. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Of course, you weren't feeling guilty. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But you were afraid that the five-clawed golden dragon might be misled by the evil soul and suddenly switch sides. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. One day later, you finally devoured the evil soul. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Your divine soul was complete once again. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The evil thoughts of the evil soul were also erased by you. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. From now on, you will be a more pure and great benevolent person. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. After doing all this, you wiped the sweat from your forehead. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You said to the five-clawed golden dragon, fortunately, he made the right choice. Otherwise, if the evil soul had turned the tables, the consequences would have been unpredictable. Open black lens bracket. The five-clawed golden dragon smiled and said, that's a must. I've been with you for so long, how could I not recognize who is good and who is evil? Open black lens bracket. But your next words caused its expression to change drastically. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You said that if the evil soul had gained dominance, the heavenly Tao would not have allowed you to overcome the divine soul tribulation. Instead, it would have sent the perfect other shore to eliminate you. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. At that time, facing the pursuit of the perfect other shore, its spirit artifact of the human emperor palace would likely also meet its demise. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Upon hearing this, the five-clawed golden dragon's face turned ashen, and it murmured, doesn't that mean I'm doomed? Open black lens bracket. You were puzzled. Doomed for what? I am the good soul, and I hold the dominance. This means I have already overcome the divine soul tribulation. Open black lens bracket. By the way, why hasn't the heavenly Tao's feedback arrived yet? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. It couldn't be as slow as your sympathy, could it? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You stroked your chin, thinking to yourself. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Just as you were wondering when the heavenly Tao's feedback would arrive, a clap of thunder suddenly sounded in your ear. close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You seemed to hear a roar from the heavenly Tao, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Subsequently, an irresistible force came from the past time, quickly forming a cage to trap you, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The aura of this power was flawless, absolutely belonging to the perfect other shore, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. What's going on, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You had clearly defeated the evil soul, so why was the heavenly Tao still attacking you, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Could it be that the heavenly Tao made a mistake and mistook you for the evil soul, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You thought this was highly probable, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. After all, the heavenly Tao had to manage the entire transcendent saint realm, with countless miscellaneous tasks. It was quite normal for it to mistakenly identify you, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Mistaking a soul might just be a minor bug for the heavenly Tao, but for you, it was quite fatal, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Because next, you would face the perfect other shore directly, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. With your current strength, it was impossible to contend with the perfect other shore, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. In a thousandth of a second, you used the divine descent art, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. A white horsetail whisk swept out from the depths of time, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. It shattered the cage, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Supremacy, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The owner of the cage made a sound, seemingly quite apprehensive of the owner of the horsetail whisk, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. After the cage shattered, his power dissipated completely, and he did not continue to attack you, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, you did not regain your freedom but arrived in a starry sky, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. There were no other figures around. What did this mean, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You began to carefully observe the starry sky, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This starry sky seemed chaotic and disordered, yet it subtly contained the Tao of Taiji yin and yang, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Could it be that you were supposed to decipher the mysteries within, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Your mind stirred, and you began to comprehend, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Time flowed slowly. You focused on the mysteries of the starry sky until 300 years passed. You finally completely comprehended the mysteries of the starry sky, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This starry sky contained the ultimate balance technique within the Tao of Taiji, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Using this technique could suppress powers that surpassed your own realm, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Exactly how much it could suppress would depend on the depth of your mastery of the Tao of Taiji, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Based on your current understanding of the Tao of Taiji, you could suppress an ancient one to the level of an ordinary other shore, and you could weaken the strength of a most ancient one by about 20 to 30%, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Against the perfect other shore, it would probably still be difficult to have an effect, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But overall, it was still quite practical, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. After you completely comprehended it, this starry sky also shattered, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You reappeared in the human emperor palace, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. And only a short 3 years had passed here, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Master, are you alright, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The 5-clawed golden dragon immediately swam over, circling around you continuously, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. It was evident that it was very worried about you, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You nodded. As expected of the good dragon you had trained, it still had deep affection for you, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But the 5-clawed golden dragon's next sentence made your face darken. It's a good thing you're alright. Otherwise, this old dragon would have suffered misfortune along with you. Open black lens bracket. You hung it up and gave it a beating, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You made it realize what should be said and what shouldn't be said, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. After you finished beating it, a massive heavenly Tao feedback surged forth, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. It only dissipated after your strength increased by 8 or 9 times, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Clearly, you had finally overcome the divine soul tribulation, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You had broken through to the 9th level of life and death, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Your current strength, even without using the yin-yang reverse death art and ultimate balance, was basically invincible among the ancient ones, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. If you used both, you would have a place among the most ancient ones, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Of course, this place refers to the strength when a single Tao body is used, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. With your strength increasing so much, there was no need for your 3 Tao bodies to merge, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Of course, the reverse death divine spirit formed after the Tao bodies merge would definitely be even more powerful, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This was also your most powerful trump card besides the divine descent art, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. After you came out of seclusion, the court ministers found you and said that during your seclusion, the Azure Abyss ancient dynasty had sent an envoy to form a military alliance with the Celestial Tin Holy Court, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The Kangming Emperor was extremely concerned about face, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Previously, forcing him to cede 2 saint states had already caused him to lose considerable face, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Now, to actively seek an alliance with you is tantamount to offering his face for you to slap, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This would make many people laugh at him for having no backbone, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Therefore, you did not respond immediately but sent a Tao body to investigate the reason, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You didn't know until you investigated, and when you did, you were shocked, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Just in the little over 3 years you were in seclusion, the various most ancient ones of the 8 Desolations divine dynasty had mobilized with full force, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. They first suppressed the demonic disaster and then, with the momentum of sweeping away fallen leaves, seized over 20 saint states in the west, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Even the Azure Abyss ancient dynasty had 3 saint states taken by them, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Although the Kangming Emperor declared a counterattack, the hope seemed slim at the moment, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The Azure Abyss ancient dynasty had a total of 5 most ancient ones, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Except for the Grand Ancestor Yellow Dragon Taoist and the Imperial Advisor Celestial Destiny Book Venerable, the others basically listened to the court's directives but did not necessarily obey orders, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. And the most ancient ones of the 8 Desolations divine dynasty numbered as many as 11, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. How could they possibly reclaim the lost territory with just the Yellow Dragon Taoist and the Celestial Destiny Book Venerable, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Therefore, the Kangming Emperor had to swallow his pride and seek an alliance with you to alleviate the pressure, close black lens bracket. 770. 8 Desolate Actions, the Ancestor of Heavenly Talisman. Heaven's way is difficult, the public enemy of all races. Open black lens bracket. According to the message from the Tao body, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Kangming Emperor is quite confident about this alliance, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Firstly, you once said that an alliance was possible, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Secondly, the 8 Desolations divine dynasty is powerful now, and the Celestial Tin Holy Court alone cannot stand against it, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. As the saying goes, combining forces benefits both sides. He believes you will not refuse, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Unexpectedly, you still refused in the end, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Kangming Emperor was very puzzled upon receiving the news, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This is something that benefits both sides, so why would you refuse, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, Kangming Emperor only thought of the difficulty of standing alone, but did not consider the deeper implications, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The reason why the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty has not dealt a fatal blow to the Celestial Tin Holy Court and the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. One is that they are wary of the strength of both sides, and the other is that they feel the situation is controllable. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. If the two major forces form an alliance, they will instantly become the biggest threat to the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty will definitely not sit still and will turn its guns to deal with the Celestial Tin Holy Court and the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty with all its might. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You don't want to conflict with the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty so early, so naturally, you are unwilling to form an alliance. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Moreover, the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty is too weak. The only notable figures are Yellow Dragon Taoist and Celestial Destiny Book Venerable. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. It would be good if the other 3 ancient ones don't stab you in the back at a critical moment. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty is completely a burden. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. If you ally with it, you will become a shield. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You are even less likely to agree. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, the recent actions of the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty are indeed strange. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You should know that the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty is composed of 8 powerful alien races, and their internal structure is not monolithic. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Just like the Fire Spirit clan and the Kunpeng clan before, they suffered setbacks at your hands. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Not only did the other races not help, but they also gloated. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Now, why are they suddenly so united? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. In a short time, they have turned into a war machine. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Even with the stimulation of the hope of transcendence, it is impossible to change so quickly. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This is obviously unreasonable. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. A major change must have occurred internally. You sent 3 Tao bodies to investigate. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The current combat power of the Tao body is almost invincible among the ancient ones. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The investigation efficiency is extremely high. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Within a few days, a message was sent back. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Among the 8 major royal clans of the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty, the ancestor sacrificing to the Tao of the most powerful Talisman clan is suspected to have broken through to the perfect other shore, which is why the other royal clans have submitted to him and follow his commands without question. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This news shocked you greatly. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty has a total of 8 major royal clans. The Talisman clan, the Divine Phoenix clan, the Fox clan, the Kunpeng clan, the Fire Spirit clan, the Treant clan, the Netherbone clan, and the Shen clan. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Among them, the Talisman clan has 3 ancient ones, the Divine Phoenix clan has 2, and the others each have 1. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The Talisman clan originally held the greatest voice in the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Now, the ancestor sacrificing to the Tao is also suspected to have broken through to the perfect other shore. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. He can indeed control the entire 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But for you, this is not good news. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. If the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty only had a dozen or so ancient ones, although they would be a threat to you, they would not threaten your life. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. If there is a perfect other shore, that is different. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. If they attack you, you will be completely unable to resist. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Even if you use the Divine Descent art to invite corresponding experts, they can at best make 1 or 2 moves and cannot protect you all the time. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You are glad that you did not agree to Kangming Emperor's alliance, otherwise you would have fallen into a big trap. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, the perfect other shore of the talisman ancestor came very strangely. Did he break through long ago, or did he just happen to break through recently? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. If it was a recent breakthrough, you have to suspect whether he received external help. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. After all, during every great tribulation of destruction, many great powers and giants begin to make arrangements to seek benefits for themselves. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The representative force among them is the heavenly mystery Holy Land, which is just one of the 8 transcendent forces. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The other 7 have not shown any movement yet. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Generally speaking, transcendent forces are not very keen on the great tribulation of destruction. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But in every great tribulation of destruction, at least 2 or 3 transcendent forces will make a move. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The water here is extremely deep, and you decide to continue developing in a low profile. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. After that, you took out the Tai Divine Dipper, wanting to see what you would encounter in your next Heavenly Tao difficulty. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The last time, during the soul difficulty, the fact that Heavenly Tao mistook you for an evil soul still bothers you. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. I hope this time, it won't cause any more trouble for you. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. After you invested a large amount of saint crystals, the Tai Divine Dipper did not give a prompt as usual, but made you wait for a long time before a line of text slowly appeared. Heavenly Tao difficulty. You will receive a Heavenly Tao wanted order and become an enemy of the 10,000 races in the transcendent saint realm. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Seeing this line of information, you were dumbfounded. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This is not right, is it? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You haven't even broken through to the other shore, and you've become an enemy of the 10,000 races. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Although you have killed some alien races before, it was only to strengthen the human emperor palace. How did you become an enemy of the 10,000 races? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You finally understand that this Heavenly Tao is not giving you any way to live. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. In the last soul difficulty, you thought it was a bug in Heavenly Tao and it mistook you. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Now it seems that it was intentional. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You didn't provoke it either, so why does it have to put you to death? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You thought for a long time, but you didn't know the reason. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But you know one thing, that is, the Heavenly Tao of the transcendent saint realm has found a way to court death. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You then entered primordial chi to see if the Tai Divine Dipper had any solutions. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. After you injected almost all the excess primordial chi in your body into the Tai Divine Dipper, it slowly displayed. There are 2 ways to solve it. One is to make the human emperor palace a primordial treasure, which can then shield the Heavenly Tao's perception and make the wanted order invalid. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The second is to achieve minor completion in all 5 great innates, or major completion in one of them. Your strength will then be no less than that of a perfect other shore, and the danger will resolve itself. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Besides allowing you to comprehend the great simplicity way, the Tai Divine Dipper can only predict the 3 disasters, 3 tribulations, and 3 difficulties of the sacrifice Tao realm. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Unexpectedly, for this last difficulty, it was quite generous and gave you 2 solutions. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. In terms of difficulty, the latter is definitely greater. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The Tao of primordial beginning, which you first came into contact with, is currently only close to minor completion. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Not to mention achieving minor completion in all of them, or major completion in one. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. In comparison, making the human emperor palace a primordial treasure is simpler. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Up to now, the human emperor palace has refined nearly 100 ordinary other shores of alien races and 5 ancient ones of alien races. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Its advancement path has already completed 1/3. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You just need to add the remaining 2/3 to it. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Capturing alien race other shores is not difficult for you. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. What you lack is just time. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You just don't know when the heavenly Tao wanted order will appear. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The Tai Divine Dipper did not specify the detailed time. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. It's time to seize every minute and second. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You sent out the 9 great avatars to capture alien race other shores and alien races. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Anyway, the transcendent realm is in chaos now. Capturing some alien races shouldn't be so easily discovered, right? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Moreover, this action is also weakening your potential danger. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Anyway, you will be hunted by the 10,000 races sooner or later. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The weaker the alien races are, the safer you will naturally be. Close black lens bracket. 771. The alien race disappeared and slandered you. The Tianji clan suppressed the Void Ancient Lord. Soon, disappearance incidents frequently occurred throughout the Transcendent Saint realm. It wasn't just 1 or 2 beings that disappeared, but entire races. Even some alien races with other shore realm cultivators were no exception. Even other shore realm cultivators vanished without a trace. At first, everyone just thought these were some demon heads taking advantage of the chaos to plunder blood sustenance, and didn't pay much attention. It wasn't until the scale grew larger and reached a shocking level that people began to take it seriously. Among them, the most horrifying was the demon god Ancient Kingdom, which occupied 3 saint states. It had 17 other shore cultivators and 3 ancient ones, yet even so, 90% of its races disappeared overnight. The demon god Ancient capital was even more empty, turning into a dead city. The 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty had originally sent an army to attack the demon god Ancient Kingdom. Unexpectedly, the entire Ancient Kingdom was empty. Although they gained the territory of 3 saint states for free, those who took over the territory felt no joy, only fear and unease. The unknown is the most terrifying. Even some of the most ancient ones would likely find it difficult to achieve this. No one knew who could have done all this. No one knew when this kind of disaster would befall them. Wonderful, wonderful. Just as everyone was fearful and worried, the 5-clawed golden dragon was extremely happy. The alien races were sacrificing themselves recklessly, and other shore powerhouses were letting him refine them at will. He hadn't felt this way in a long time. He guaranteed you that as long as the current efficiency was maintained, he could advance to a primordial supreme treasure in at most 10 years. You looked at the alien races and alien other shore cultivators suppressed by you, furrowing your brow slightly. This stock was only enough for 1 year's needs, still lacking 9 years' worth. You still needed to heavily acquire goods. You just didn't know if acquiring too many goods would lead to you being discovered. Let's not worry about it for now. Others fear, you are greedy. Just do it. Future matters can be discussed later. At worst, you'll block soldiers with generals and cover water with earth. Just as your Tao body was heavily acquiring goods. An old man far away in the setting sun saint state of the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty suddenly opened his eyes, gasping heavily. Many people surrounded the old man, seemingly holding a certain ritual. Seeing the old man awaken, someone immediately stepped forward and asked, "Patriarch, have you found the culprit?" Too many races had recently disappeared, and people kept consulting the old man, which led to the discovery of this scene. The old man said with a look of fear, "Not only did this seat find the culprit, but I also saw the aura of destruction calamity continuously emanating from him, as if he wanted to devour the entire Transcendent Saint realm. That culprit is the origin of this great destruction calamity." Hearing this, everyone exchanged glances. The origin of the great calamity, as everyone knows, is the evil Emperor Hall. This was the result deduced by a group of other shore masters at Celestial Mystery Mountain using the Heavenly Mystery Great Array. Could it be that so many masters in the Heavenly Mystery Holy Land were all wrong? For a moment, everyone didn't know how to respond. The old man seemed to know they didn't believe him, so he took out a piece of paper and imprinted the culprit's face from his mind onto it. Looking at the lifelike face on it, Someone immediately exclaimed, "Isn't this the current lord of the celestial Tin Holy Court, Lu Changsheng?" The old man said decisively, "That's right, it's him. He is the source of all evil. You all quickly follow me to the 8 Desolations divine capital and ask the divine dynasty masters to take action. We must nip him in the bud." Everyone didn't know what madness had taken hold of the patriarch, but since his mind was made up, they could only follow him in his madness. Soon, a shocking piece of news spread from the 8 Directions divine capital. That is, the culprit who captured the alien races is you, and the origin of the great calamity is also you. When you heard this news, you were extremely furious. The culprit is indeed you, but what does the origin of the great calamity have to do with you? You didn't understand, who is slandering your innocence out of thin air. You immediately sent people to investigate what was going on. The celestial design race. The result of the investigation greatly surprised you. This was the content reported to the 8 Desolations divine emperor in the divine capital by a race called the celestial design race. Because it was too outrageous, many people didn't believe it. Heavenly mystery again. You were itching with hatred. How come everyone whose name contains heavenly mystery has a problem with you? In the Little Yuan realm, the Tianji pavilion slandered you as a demon star. In this transcendent saint realm, there is also the celestial design race slandering you as the source of the great calamity. Truly detestable. Speaking of this celestial design race, it has a considerable connection with the heavenly mystery Holy Land. It is the bloodline left behind by the celestial mystery successor of the previous great destruction calamity. Later, as they reproduced and reached a certain scale, they named themselves the celestial design race to distinguish themselves from other races. The celestial design race in the 8 Desolations divine dynasty was still quite influential, having close relationships with many royal families. Now that the celestial design race patriarch has spoken out to slander you, it's indeed a bit troublesome. But, even if it's troublesome, it must be done. You are not someone who lets others slander you. If people truly believe that you are the source of the great calamity, then the trouble will be immense. How can you quickly break this situation? You thought of the 9 Bens Pavilion. The 9 Bens Pavilion does intelligence business, with its scope covering the entire transcendent saint realm. And after so many years, it also has a good reputation. As long as the 9 Bens Pavilion is willing to help you and verify your innocence, your reputation can still be saved. You found the 9 Serenities Tower Master in the spiritual fortune saint state. Unexpectedly, the other party said that they only publish true information and absolutely do not fabricate anything. What does that mean? Could it be that clarifying your innocence is considered fabricating? It seems this 9 Bens Pavilion also has a way to court death. A fierce glint flashed in your eyes, but you quickly suppressed it. You said since this matter was not something she could decide, let the most ancient one behind her, the ancient void exalted, talk to you. The 9 Serenities Tower Master reported the message upwards. In less than half a day, a majestic will descended. The ancient void exalted has arrived. However, only a wisp of his will arrived, not his true body. He came to tell you that this kind of matter involves the great destruction calamity, and the 9 Bens Pavilion will not easily get involved. You said, if that's the case, then there's nothing to discuss. After speaking, you decisively attacked, suppressing his will with the human emperor palace. Afterward, 9 Tao bodies merged into one, forming an extremely powerful reverse death god. Following this wisp of will, it went to the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty and found the Ancient Void Exalted's main body. The Ancient Void Exalted's main body was greatly shocked and wanted to struggle, but he was no match for the 9-in-1 reverse death god at all. Moreover, this reverse death god held a great killing weapon like the human emperor palace in its hand. In just a few breaths, you suppressed the Ancient Void Exalted. 772. Disturbing the public, will the 8 Desolations perish? Cutting the grass and eradicating its roots, panic spreads. Then, your Tao body disguised as him and issued orders at the headquarters of the 9 Bens Pavilion. Although you found it difficult to soul-search the most ancient one, by soul-searching others at the headquarters, you could basically imitate Ancient Void Exalted to a considerable extent. Due to the 9 Bens Pavilion's reputation, many people naturally came to verify the truth of the news about the celestial design race. Previously, the 9 Bens Pavilion said they didn't know. Now that you have taken over, it is naturally a rumor. Not only is it a rumor, but it is a defamation against you by the Kunpeng clan and the Fire Spirit clan in alliance with the celestial design race. The purpose is to make the 8 Desolations divine dynasty attack the celestial Tin Holy Court earlier, to avenge the 2 clans. As soon as this news was released, it immediately caused another uproar outside. Many forces didn't know who to believe. Some people said that the founder of the 9 Bens Pavilion, Ancient Void Exalted, was of the human race and would definitely favor the human race. However, the origin of the Great Tribulation mentioned by the celestial design race clearly conflicted with what the Heavenly Mystery Holy Land deduced. Relatively speaking, the Heavenly Mystery Holy Land was definitely more credible. So, compared to the 9 Bens Pavilion and the celestial design race, many forces believed the 9 Bens Pavilion more. Especially shortly after, your Dao body disguised as high-ranking officials of the Kunpeng clan and the Fire Spirit clan and leaked information, which made even more people believe the 9 Bens Pavilion's statements. This was a self-directed and self-acted event by the celestial design race, secretly colluding. When the celestial design patriarch heard this news, he was so angry that he vomited blood and knelt outside the imperial palace, pleading with the 8 Desolations divine emperor to immediately send troops to attack the celestial Tin Holy Court. The celestial design patriarch's cultivation was not high, only at the half-step other shore, but doing this also showed great sincerity. However, the 8 Desolations divine emperor ignored him. The celestial Tin Holy Court would definitely be attacked, but not now. Because the high-level officials of the royal family had already discussed clearly that the attack route would be from easy to difficult. The celestial Tin Holy Court was clearly a tough nut to crack. It had to be gnawed on last. If they fought against it now, even if they could destroy it, the 8 Desolations divine dynasty would suffer heavy losses, and at that time, it would only allow the other powerful forces to benefit. If the 8 Desolations divine emperor did not send troops, the celestial design patriarch would keep kneeling outside. He knelt for 3 days and 3 nights, seeing that the 8 Desolations divine emperor still ignored him. The celestial design patriarch, trembling, stood up and, in the heavy rain, turned and left. As he walked, he also looked up to the sky and laughed madly. It's going to be destroyed, the 8 Desolations divine dynasty is going to be destroyed, ha 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 ha. A minister reported this treasonous speech to the 8 Desolations divine emperor. The 8 Desolations divine emperor's eyes were cold. If he didn't listen to him, the 8 Desolations divine dynasty would be destroyed. How preposterous! If it were another race, he would have directly annihilated them. But the celestial design race had some connection with the Heavenly Mystery Holy Land, so the 8 Desolations divine emperor had to issue an order that the celestial design race was forbidden from stepping into the divine capital for life. Just like that, the people of the celestial design race were expelled from the divine capital. Many young people in the clan complained that the patriarch had gone mad, causing them to suffer along with him. However, not long after the celestial design race left, the celestial mystery successor, Gongsun arrived at the 8 Desolations divine capital. He wanted to meet this so-called celestial design patriarch, to see why he said such things. Seeing this, the 8 Desolations divine emperor immediately sent people to invite the people of the celestial design race back. However, the people who went only brought back a pile of corpses. The 8 Desolations divine emperor was furious and asked what was going on. The people below said that not long after the people of the celestial design race left the divine capital, they were attacked by several mysterious people and all died. The 8 Desolations divine emperor immediately ordered them to find out the real culprits and send these corpses back to the ancestral land of the celestial design race. Gongsun sighed and said that it was the will of heaven. Then, he left the 8 Desolations divine capital. As for you, you began to soul-search the celestial design patriarch. You wanted to see why he slandered you. As a result, after soul-searching, you found that he had seen the scene of your Tao body plundering other races and the constantly surging tribulation chi of destruction on your body through a ritual similar to the heavenly mystery Great Array. Therefore, he concluded that you were the origin of the Great Tribulation. When you underwent the physical body tribulation some time ago, you indeed expelled a lot of tribulation chi of destruction. You thought he must have misunderstood you because of this tribulation chi of destruction. You just said, how could you be the source of the Great Tribulation? This celestial design patriarch deserved to die. He only had a partial understanding and dared to show off everywhere, interpreting some images randomly and daring to slander you. If he didn't die, who would? Not only must he die, but you will not spare his clansmen either. These half-baked fortune-tellers should not be left to harm the world. When the officials of the 8 Desolations divine dynasty were transporting the corpses halfway, they were shocked to hear the bad news that all the clansmen in the ancestral land of the celestial design race had disappeared, not a single one was left. There was also a line of characters left on the scene. The killer is Liu Changsheng. It is unknown whether it was really left by Liu Changsheng or intentionally framed. Anyway, there were many residual demon clan auras there, but not a trace of human race aura. Upon receiving the news, the Celestial Tin Holy Court immediately issued a statement saying that this matter had nothing to do with their great human emperor, Liu Changsheng, and that it was entirely someone using despicable means to frame him. They asked everyone not to believe or spread rumors. Anyway, for a while, the water was incredibly murky. Many things were confusing, making it difficult to grasp the truth. However, perhaps because of the matter of the celestial design race, the Eight Desolations divine dynasty was very suspicious of you and specifically sent Fire Spirit Forefather, who was most at odds with you, to monitor the entire Celestial Tin Holy Court. This way, it would not be so convenient for your Tao body to capture people again. However, the most ancient one could monitor you, but he could not monitor the 9-in-1 inverse death god. Letting the inverse death god do the capturing would be more efficient. Furthermore, with the complete 5 great innates, even under the nose of the most ancient one, he would find it difficult to discover your inverse death god. Just like that, Fire Spirit Forefather monitored the Celestial Tin Holy Court for a month. Not only did he not find any abnormalities, but more and more ethnic groups disappeared outside. Even the Eight Desolations divine dynasty had to transfer Fire Spirit Forefather to investigate the real culprits. Because among the recently disappeared ethnic groups, more and more were from the Eight Desolations divine dynasty. If this behavior was not stopped, the foundation of the Eight Desolations divine dynasty would also be damaged. Your Tao body going to capture the alien races of the Eight Desolations divine dynasty was not entirely for the purpose of besieging Wei to rescue Zhao. Due to its fierce expansion, the current territory of the Eight Desolations divine dynasty has reached over 150 saint states. And in the Transcendent Saint realm, only 365 saint states have been opened up so far. The Eight Desolations divine dynasty occupies 2/5. The Azure Abyss ancient dynasty and the Suppressing Mountain divine court occupy the other 2/5. If you don't snatch alien races from the territories of these major forces, your deficit will not be filled. 773. The throne of the Holy Emperor belongs to the virtuous. Attack Kangming, chaos returns to origin formation. Open black lens bracket just like this, another 3 months passed. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You captured hundreds of other race and a large number of other race people, which was enough to meet the requirements for the human emperor palace to advance. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Thus, you finally stopped. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. At this time, the Transcendent Saint realm had fallen into a state of panic. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Large numbers of ethnic groups disappeared in swaths, and the culprit could not be found, making even the most ancient ones feel their scalps tingle. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Especially among the other shore powerhouses, their numbers were reduced by 1/3. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This was even more terrifying. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Even forces like the Eight Desolations divine dynasty, which were constantly attacking and plundering cities, slowed down their offensives. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Even if they captured more territory, what was the point if it was all desolate land with no inhabitants? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Furthermore, some forces, while fighting, couldn't even protect their own base camps. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. What's the point of fighting then? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. At this time, you seemed quite relaxed, comprehending the 5 great innates while waiting for the human emperor palace to advance. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, this leisurely life only lasted for half a year before the Celestial Tin Holy Court welcomed an uninvited guest. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. That was the celestial mystery successor, Gongsun Ce. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Gongsun Ce met you in the lakeside pavilion. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You were fishing. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Gongsun Ce smiled and said, "The great tribulation of destruction has arrived, Brother Liu, yet you don't seem worried at all." Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You shook your head and said, "What's the use of worrying? It's better to live the present life well." close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Brother Changsun, you wouldn't visit without a reason. May I ask why you've come this time? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Seeing you being so direct, Gongsun Ce stopped beating around the bush. He asked you what you thought of the sacred emperor fruit position. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You said that it should be held by a virtuous person, not based on strength. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Whoever can become the sacred emperor depends on whether their moral character and cultivation are sufficient. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Gongsun Ce smiled and said, you are right. The heavenly mystery Holy Land believes that the current 8 Desolations divine emperor is very virtuous and wants to assist him in becoming the sacred emperor. I wonder if your celestial Tin Holy Court is willing to submit. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You were surprised, not expecting the heavenly mystery Holy Land to make a decision so quickly. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The great tribulation of destruction usually lasts for tens to hundreds of thousands of years. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Although the heavenly mystery Holy Land participates in every great tribulation of destruction. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, the times they directly interfere with the direction of the tribulation are few. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Even if they interfere, it's almost always in the middle or late stages. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Yet the current tribulation has only begun for a few decades. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The heavenly mystery Holy Land has already shown its stance. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This is too strange. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Could it be that the transcender behind the heavenly mystery Holy Land has already calculated that the 8 Desolations divine emperor is the transcender of this great tribulation of destruction? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. If that's the case, how can others still compete? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Your brows furrowed, and it took a while before they relaxed. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You said that you could submit, but you also had a condition. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You wanted to be a king with a different surname, not only governing your current territory but also taking control of the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty's territory. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This time, it was Gongsun Ce's turn to furrow his brows. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Your condition was indeed harsh. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The sacred emperor is the nominal ruler of the transcendent saint realm. If he could tolerate a king with a different surname, it would undoubtedly be a humiliation for him. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Moreover, you not only wanted to be a king with a different surname but also the territories of the celestial Tin Holy Court and the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. These two places combined have over 70 saint states, occupying 1/5 of the transcendent saint realm. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Given the character of the 8 Desolations divine emperor, it is absolutely impossible for him to agree. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Gongsun Ce said that your condition was asking too much and asked if you could change it. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You said that if they didn't agree, there was nothing to discuss. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Gongsun Ce didn't expect that you would be so firm in your attitude towards him, the celestial mystery successor. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Since you couldn't reach an agreement, he had no choice but to leave. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Anyway, the opportunity was given to you. Since you couldn't grasp it, don't blame him for not reminding you. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. As soon as Gongsun Ce left, you immediately launched a large-scale attack on the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You originally didn't plan to attack the Azure Abyss Ancient City so early. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But the arrow was on the string, and it had to be shot. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The chaotic situation is still not settled. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, with the heavenly mystery Holy Land taking a side, more and more forces will definitely defect to the 8 Desolations divine dynasty. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. By then, when the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty grows stronger, it will be much more difficult to attack the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty also didn't expect you to launch a sudden attack. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Within a month, you had captured over a dozen saint states. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Seeing this, the Yellow Dragon Taoist became anxious and quickly promised heavy rewards to the other few, the most ancient ones within the ancient dynasty, asking them to take action. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. In the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty, besides the Yellow Dragon Taoist and the Celestial Destiny Book Venerable, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. There were also the Void Ancient Lord, the Myriad Tribulation Cauldron Emperor, and the Hell-Suppressing Earth Emperor. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The Hell-Suppressing Earth Emperor has been guarding the largest demon clan passage within the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty's territory for many years. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. It is difficult for him to spare his hands. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The Yellow Dragon Taoist could only invite the Void Ancient Lord and the Myriad Tribulation Cauldron Emperor. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The Void Ancient Lord, who does intelligence business, usually hides behind the scenes. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Only the Myriad Tribulation Cauldron Emperor had some friendship with the Yellow Dragon Taoist. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Unexpectedly, this time, the Void Ancient Lord agreed very readily. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. On the contrary, the Myriad Tribulation Cauldron Emperor, this old friend, raised his price, cutting off a lot of the Yellow Dragon Taoist's flesh. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Subsequently, the Yellow Dragon Taoist brought the 2 of them and the Celestial Destiny Book Venerable to the border to attack you. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. In terms of the army, the Celestial Tin Holy Court's army was like nouveau riche, armed to the teeth. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Not only were their equipment excellent, but various talismans were also scattered as if they were free. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. It was as if human lives were the most precious thing. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Even though the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty's territory was several times larger, they had never considered defeating the Celestial Tin Holy Court from the perspective of the army. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Last time, the Yellow Dragon Taoist, the Fire Spirit Forefather, and the Kunpeng Ancestor, 3 the most ancient ones, attacked you together but did not gain any advantage. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But this time was different. They were 4 the most ancient ones. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Although there was only one more person, they still held a great advantage. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. On your side, you still sent out 3 reverse death spirits. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, unlike last time was a 3-in-1, while now it was just a single Tao body. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Even so, the strength of a single reverse death spirit was even stronger than last time. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. They actually fought 4 with 3, resulting in a draw. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Seeing this, the Yellow Dragon Taoist's expression darkened, not expecting your strength to have improved again. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, he didn't know that this was a reverse death spirit formed by a single Tao body. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Otherwise, he wouldn't have continued fighting and would have fled long ago. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. At this time, the Void Ancient Lord roared, "Don't be afraid. This time I've prepared a killing formation that can double our strength. Quickly enter the formation." Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The Yellow Dragon Taoist, the Celestial Destiny Book Venerable, and the Myriad Tribulation Cauldron Emperor looked and saw that the Great Formation was constantly replaying the scene of earth, wind, water, and fire, and the creation of heaven and earth, with astonishing power. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This was actually the long-lost Chaos Return to Origin Great Formation. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. It could use the power of heaven and earth to feed back to the Formation Master. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Even the most ancient ones would benefit from it. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. There had long been rumors in the Azure Abyss ancient dynasty that this formation had been obtained by the Nine Bens Pavilion. Now it seems it was true. Close black lens bracket. 774. The ultimate power of traps. Capture the Mirage Ancestor and unify the sea. The three immediately entered the formation. After entering the formation, the earth, wind, water, and fire immediately transformed into yin and yang energy. Not only did the strength of the three not increase, but it was suppressed to a certain extent, decreasing by more than 30%. This was not the Chaos Return to Origin Great Formation at all, but clearly a trap designed specifically for them. The Yellow Dragon Taoist roared, "Void Ancient Lord, you actually betrayed us and defected to the enemy." Don't misunderstand, I haven't betrayed anyone. The Void Ancient Lord let out a cackle and transformed into your appearance. The three were greatly alarmed and wanted to escape, but at this moment, 5 more reverse death spirits appeared. A total of 9 reverse death spirits, coupled with this formation that suppressed their strength, completely sealed off their escape route. The three turned ashen. What kind of monster is this? If they had known you could produce so many experts, they would never have come, even if it meant death. Then, the three symbolically struggled for a while before being sealed by you. This battle shocked countless forces. Your celestial tin holy court's trump cards are truly endless. Speaking of which, how did you create these things? Could it be that those missing other races were really captured by you and used to cultivate demonic arts? And the great formation you used was also recognized by the most ancient ones. This was precisely the ultimate move used by Taiji Taoist, one of the 5 great innates during the last great destruction tribulation, ultimate balance. However, Taiji Taoist's strength was much more formidable. When he used it back then, even the most ancient ones were suppressed to the level of ordinary other shore, leaving a shocking impression on many. Could it be that you obtained the inheritance of Taiji Taoist? After suppressing the three, you continued your large-scale attack on the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty. Without their top combat power, the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty's morale collapsed, and facing the Celestial Tin Holy Court's army, many people directly surrendered, welcoming the royal army. Within less than a month, more than half of the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty's territory had fallen. Just when you thought victory was assured, the Kangming Emperor suddenly announced that he would submit to the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty, and the remaining territory would all belong to the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty. The 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty also dispatched several Ancient Ones to negotiate, warning you not to continue the attack. Otherwise, the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty's army would have no choice but to turn all their guns on the Celestial Tin Holy Court. Although you have 9 helpers in the most ancient realm, suppressing the Yellow Dragon Taoist and others must have taken a lot of manpower, right? How many can you still deploy? Furthermore, your methods should all have time limits, right? This was a blatant threat. But, having reached this point, how could you possibly back down? Suppressing the most ancient ones like the Yellow Dragon Taoist did indeed require a lot of effort, but you have the Human Emperor Palace. The Human Emperor Palace has devoured so many other race other shore, suppressing a few most ancient ones, while not effortless, doesn't require you to dispatch additional Tao bodies to assist. Moreover, you have taken control of over 20 saint states in the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty. Although only a small portion of the human race is wholeheartedly loyal to you, it has doubled your power of the myriad people, significantly increasing your strength once again. You didn't back down at all. While continuing the attack, you also presented a stance of negotiation. Secretly, you also sent a Tao body to capture the ancestor sacrificing to the Tao of the Shen clan. This fellow has the second Taiji divine tablet in his hands. Because he is skilled in transformation and you didn't want to completely offend the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty, you had delayed making a move against him. Now that things were almost at the point of a complete break, there was nothing left to be concerned about. The ancestor sacrificing to the Tao of the Shen clan was on the battlefield between the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty and the Suppressing Mountain Divine Court, where he could effortlessly create thousands of illusions, causing headaches for the experts of the Suppressing Mountain Divine Court. This is because the Suppressing Mountain Divine Court is primarily composed of Suppressing Mountain Ancient Spirits. The Suppressing Mountain Ancient Spirits have astonishing talent, and once they reach maturity, they will possess sacrificing to the Tao strength. However, precisely because their talent is too high, their weakest point is their spiritual realm. The ability of the ancestor sacrificing to the Tao of the Shen clan happened to counter them, which is why he was sent here. Your Tao body first found the suppressing mountain Divine Lord and said that he could help him solve this problem. The suppressing mountain Divine Lord was overjoyed and asked what you wanted. You said you wanted nothing, but you hoped that when the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty sent troops against the Celestial Tin Holy Court, the suppressing mountain Divine Court could launch a strong attack from the rear, sharing some of the pressure for the Celestial Tin Holy Court. The suppressing mountain Divine Lord patted his chest and guaranteed that even if you didn't say so, they would do the same, as it benefited both sides. Soon, your 3 Tao bodies, cooperating with 2 most ancient ones from the suppressing mountain ancient court, easily captured the ancestor sacrificing to the Tao of the Shen clan. You successfully found the second Taiji divine tablet on the ancestor sacrificing to the Tao of the Shen clan. Afterward, you brought him back to the Celestial Tin Holy Court. On the other side, during the negotiations, several most ancient ones from the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty, seeing the Celestial Tin Holy Court's army still launching a large-scale attack, threatened, if you don't stop within 3 days, there will be no need for negotiations and the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty will directly attack the Celestial Tin Holy Court. You smiled and said, is that so? If that happens, I'm afraid his little life won't be safe either. Then, in front of several most ancient ones, you brought out the ancestor sacrificing to the Tao of the Shen clan. Several most ancient ones were greatly alarmed, not expecting you to dare to attack their top combat power. Among them, the Kunpeng ancestor glared fiercely and said, Ancestor Fu has already broken through to the perfect other shore. If you really dare to harm the ancestor sacrificing to the Tao of the Shen clan, no one can protect your life. Previously, although this news circulated among the upper echelons of the Transcendent Saint realm, no one could be certain. Now that it came from the mouth of the Kunpeng ancestor, you could basically confirm that Ancestor Fu had indeed broken through to the perfect other shore. Thinking about how early the heavenly mystery Holy Land took a side. It might also be related to this. Ancestor Fu has been at the perfect other shore for so long and hasn't made a move, you believe he won't easily make a move against you either. Drag it out for a few more years, and when your human emperor palace advances to a primordial treasure, you won't need to fear him even more. Even if he immediately makes a move against you. Behind you stands the Supreme Taoist Lord. The last time the Supreme Taoist Lord made a move, saving you from the perfect other shore sent by the heavenly Tao, you believe this time, he won't stand by idly either. In any case, you must get all the territory of the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty. It's impossible to give it to the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty. The Verdant Sun Saint province back then was not recovered for a long time because the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty was indecisive. It eventually became a difficult iron nail for the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty to deal with the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty. The human race is still waiting for you to unify them. You don't want to create a bigger iron nail. You sneered, does only your 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty have a perfect other shore behind it? The Kunpeng Saint Lord and others were startled. Could it be that you also have a perfect other shore supporting you? Considering your heaven-defying strength and endless trump cards, it wasn't impossible. This negotiation ultimately ended without result. 2 months later, the Celestial Tin Holy Court took down the entire territory of the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty with the force of a sweeping autumn wind. 775. Conquer the hearts of the people, the great virtue of the Emperor. 5 years, a countermeasure. Open black lens bracket. Take down the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You have already ruled over half of the human race forces in the Transcendent Saint realm. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Although there are still some human race in other regions, together, they will not exceed 30%. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. In other words, at least 70% of the human race are under your rule as the human emperor. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The territory ruled by the Celestial Tin Holy Court has also reached 85 saint states. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Occupying 1/5 of the developed area of the Transcendent Saint realm. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Second only to the area of over 160 saint states controlled by the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The population of the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty is several times that of the Celestial Tin Holy Court. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Needless to say, the overall strength is naturally stronger. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Although you have distributed a large amount of resources to the human race in the Celestial Tin Holy Court for cultivation. close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket, but the time is too short, only a few decades, making it difficult to create a gap, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. And now, the Celestial Tin Holy Court has a large number of newborns and children, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Even with abundant resources, it is difficult for them to cultivate to a profound realm in a short time, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The population of the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty is quite important to you, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You risked attacking it for the power of the myriad people here, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. If you can absorb all the power of the myriad people here, your strength will definitely be comparable to the oldest one, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Of course, the power of the myriad people is not obtained just by occupying this territory, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You also have to make people willingly submit to you, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Regarding this point, your Tao body is already quite experienced, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. In the propaganda of the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty, the Celestial Tin Holy Court was portrayed as a demonic den that committed all sorts of evil, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The high-ranking officials of the Celestial Tin Holy Court even ate the hearts and livers of children every day, which is why they greatly encouraged childbirth, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, after the Celestial Tin Holy Court ruled over them, the expected brutal measures did not arrive, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Instead, all land and other cultivation resources were redistributed, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Even many profound techniques that could cause bloodshed were openly made available for free, for anyone to practice, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Everyone was stunned. Wasn't it supposed to be a demonic den, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This is different from the official propaganda, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. There are no fools in the world, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. As long as you are sincere and good to the people will feel it, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. As your various benevolent measures were implemented, the power of your myriad people grew rapidly, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. In just 1 month, your strength doubled, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. And only about 40% of the people's hearts were won over by you, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. These 40% followed whoever was good to them, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The rest were either uncertain or still had feelings for the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This is also normal. Winning over the people's hearts is not an easy task, and it will take longer time, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. As for those who cannot be influenced no matter what, you will certainly not keep them to pollute the environment of the state, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Your people, like you, are very pure and kind, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You don't want those stubborn elements to lead them astray, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This month, the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty was in a state of fierce debate, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The main subject of contention was naturally the matter of launching a full-scale attack on the Celestial Tin Holy Court, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Among the 8 major royal clans, some supported it, while others opposed it, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Those who supported it, needless to say, definitely included the Kunpeng ancestor and the fire spirit forefather, who had suffered setbacks at your hands, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. In addition, there were the Fox clan, the Underworld Bone race, and the Mirage clan, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Needless to say, the Mirage clan's ancestor sacrificing to the Tao is still in your hands, and they need to find a way to rescue him as soon as possible, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The Fox clan believed that the Celestial Tin Holy Court was too great a threat and should be eliminated as soon as possible, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The Underworld Bone race purely wanted to have a large feast because the human race were their favorite blood food, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, the Divine Phoenix race and the Treant race expressed their opposition, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. These 2 major races were currently dealing with the Burial Flower Spirit realm and had already expended a great deal of effort, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. They were on the verge of a great victory. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Naturally, they were unwilling to give up at this critical juncture. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. As for the dominant celestial talisman race, they needed to consider everything comprehensively. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The 8 Desolations Divine Emperor, the patriarch of the celestial talisman race, actually wanted to take the approach of tackling the easier tasks first before the harder ones. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, the rise of the celestial Tin Holy Court was too alarming, and he was afraid that he would not be able to control the situation after a while, so he was in a dilemma. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. He originally wanted to ask for opinions from the major royal clans, but he didn't expect them to be arguing incessantly. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Finally, he decided to consult the ancestor sacrificing to the Tao. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The 8 Desolations Divine Emperor came to an endless abyss below the divine capital, which was a passage leading to the underground demonic den. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Few people knew that the 8 Desolations Divine Capital was built on top of such a passage. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. After the 8 Desolations Divine Emperor stated his purpose, an old voice came from the bottom of the abyss. In another 5 years, my realm will be completely consolidated, and then I, the ancestor sacrificing to the Tao, will personally take action and wipe out the celestial Tin Holy Court. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Upon hearing that it would take another 5 years, the 8 Desolations Divine Emperor said with concern, but the Lord of Celestial Tin, Lu Chengsheng, is very strange, and his strength is increasing abnormally quickly. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Strength increasing quickly. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The old voice was displeased. The gap between the perfect other shore and the oldest one is so large that you cannot imagine it. Let alone 5 years, what about 50 years? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Don't worry, when I, the ancestor sacrificing to the Tao, come out of seclusion, whether you want to cut Lu Chengsheng in half or slice him into 1,000 pieces, it's not a problem. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Hearing the ancestor sacrificing to the Tao's guarantee, the 8 Desolations Divine Emperor finally felt a little relieved, and then he announced this matter to the high-ranking officials of the major royal clans. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Since it was a perfect other shore who had spoken personally, no one dared to raise any further objections. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This matter was thus settled. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. 5 years later, the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty will launch a full-scale attack on the celestial Tin Holy Court. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Within the high-ranking officials of the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty, you already have spies in place. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Unless this news is only circulated among the oldest one, it is impossible to hide it from you. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. 5 years. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You feel a bit of a headache. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The human Emperor Palace still needs 7 or 8 years to advance, and 5 years is simply not enough. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This is already the maximum time acceleration. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Should the human Emperor Palace be sent to the past time? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But the past time of the transcendent world is composed of countless time nodes, and there are various other shores occupying the time nodes within. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Sending it to the past time is easy to be discovered. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Currently, the most practical approach is probably to increase the intensity of the sacrifices. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Previously, you secretly captured many other races to sacrifice to the human Emperor Palace, accelerating the speed of refining the other race other shore. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. To reduce the negative impact of the sacrifices, you entrusted the matter of sacrificing to the human Emperor Palace to the human race you had left to their own devices in the other dimension. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Their sacrifice intensity is definitely far less than that of the human race in the celestial Tin Holy Court. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Now that you are about to fall out with the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty, the largest other race force, you don't need to care about any negative impact. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Another half a year passed. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Within the territory of the Celestial Tin Holy Court, everything was settled, and a sense of peace and stability began to emerge. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. In the former territory of the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty, the hearts of the people had also been won over by 60%. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The time for sacrifice is initially ripe. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But there is still one last step missing. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Because sacrifices definitely require offerings. Close black lens bracket. 776. Have you done something good? Betray your own people. Openly sacrifice. A three-way alliance. Open black lens bracket. You can't openly take out the other race you secretly captured before and offer them as sacrifices. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. If you do that, everyone will know that those missing other races were captured by you. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Not only did you capture them, but you also sacrificed them, undoubtedly alienating yourself from all other races. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Although your strength is powerful, it hasn't reached the point where you can do whatever you want. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You still need to win over many other races. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Especially the other races hostile to the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. For example, Jehu Divine Court and Burial Flower Spirit Realm. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. So, you still need to be more presentable. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. How can you publicly sacrifice these other races while also demonstrating your great virtue and kindness? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You thought hard for a long time, and finally, a flash of inspiration crossed your mind. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. In the Demon Tomb Saint State within the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty, there is a passage leading to the underground demon cave. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. That passage is huge, and there are often demon creatures attacking it. It has been guarded year-round by the oldest one, jail-suppressing Earth Sovereign. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. If these other races were captured by powerful demon clan members, and you rescued them, only to find that they had been demonized. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. To avoid harming the world, you could only reluctantly sacrifice them. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This way, it would appear that you have great virtue and kindness, and other races would not be able to find fault. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Isn't this killing 2 birds with 1 stone? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, this action requires jail-suppressing Earth Sovereign's cooperation. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Jail-suppressing Earth Sovereign has voluntarily guarded the Demon Clan passage for many years, which clearly shows he is a person of great virtue and kindness just like you. You believe he won't refuse. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Unexpectedly, when you discussed it with jail-suppressing Earth Sovereign, he directly refused, saying it would harm his yin virtue. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You were enraged. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. What does it mean to harm yin virtue? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This method can openly eliminate countless other races, which is a great meritorious deed. How can it be called harming yin virtue? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Is jail-suppressing Earth Sovereign implying that your virtue is lacking? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You immediately summoned several Tao bodies and captured jail-suppressing Earth Sovereign. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. On human race territory, you still dare to bite the hand that feeds you and consider the other race. You're courting death. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Afterward, you publicly announced that many powerful demon clan members had appeared in the passage of the Demon Tomb Saint State, and jail-suppressing Earth Sovereign had been severely injured. There was now an urgent need for a large number of experts to assist Celestial Tin Holy Court in suppressing the demon clan passage to prevent a widespread demon disaster. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You sent out requests for assistance to large and medium-sized forces such as the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty, Jehu Divine Court, and Burial Flower Spirit Realm. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty merely gloated and completely ignored your request. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. It even hoped that the demon clan would break out and cause a demon disaster for you. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Burial Flower Spirit Realm was being fiercely attacked by the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty and was unable to offer assistance. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Only Jehu Divine Court sent an oldest one to help. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. In addition, some forces that wanted to build good relations with Celestial Tin Holy Court also symbolically sent some personnel. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. When they arrived at the Demon Clan passage, they were shocked. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Inside the passage, there were countless other races imprisoned, which were exactly the races that had gone missing before. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, many of these races had been infiltrated by demon energy and had become lackeys of the Demon Clan. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Inside the passage, there were also 3 powerful Demon Clan Ancient Ones leading a large Demon Clan army, frantically attacking the seal. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The oldest one from Jehu Divine Court asked curiously, there are only 3 oldest one Demon Clan members. They shouldn't pose a threat to Celestial Tin Holy Court, right? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You coughed and said, isn't this just being prepared? Who knows if there are more experts behind these Demon Clan members? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Then, in front of the representatives of various other race forces, you sent out 4 Dao bodies, repelled the Demon Clan's attack, and rescued the other races trapped in the Demon Clan passage. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, the demon energy on these demonized other races was surprisingly difficult to remove. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Even the oldest one from Jehu Divine Court was helpless. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Most importantly, this strange demon energy was highly contagious. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Once you got close to these demonized other races, it was very easy for the demon energy to enter your body, causing you to lose your sanity like them. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You put on a compassionate appearance, saying that this demon energy was truly vicious and difficult to deal with, and hoped that experts would come forward to remove the demon energy for these other race brothers. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Subsequently, a large number of other race experts came upon hearing the news, but they all returned in defeat. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This was because you had concocted this special demon energy using 5 great innates. Unless the other party's achievement in the 5 great innates Dao surpassed yours, it would be impossible to dispel it. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Just as everyone was frowning and at a loss, you suddenly stepped forward and said that you had a special sacrificial method that might be able to dispel the demon energy. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Then, you tried it in front of everyone, and indeed, the demon energy was dispelled. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But the demonized other races also vanished into nothingness, not even a speck remaining. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This was a solution that eliminated both the demon energy and the host. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, the other race experts present had no better solution. If this demon energy were to spread, it would be a disaster for the Transcendent Saint Realm. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. So, they allowed you to proceed freely. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Next, you voluntarily expended enormous manpower and resources, ordering large-scale sacrifices to be held within the Holy Court to purify the demonized other races. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. All human race members in Celestial Tin Holy Court had to participate in the sacrificial ceremony. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This significantly improved the perception of many other races towards you. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. They had all said that the Lord of Celestial Tin Holy Court was extremely ruthless and left no other race alive within his territory. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Now it seemed he also had a benevolent side. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. After this incident, the royal families of Burial Flower Spirit Realm and Jehu Divine Court proposed that the 3 families could form an alliance to jointly resist the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Upon hearing this, you immediately agreed. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Previously, you did not agree to Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty because, firstly, you coveted its population and land, and secondly, you found it a burden that couldn't help you much. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But Jehu Divine Court and Burial Flower Spirit Realm were different, both were other races. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The number of other races you currently possessed was enough for the human Emperor Palace to advance, so you didn't have a great need for other races. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Moreover, the oldest ones of the two major forces combined exceeded 10. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. For you, this was quite helpful. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Half a month later, Mount Suppressing Divine Master and Burial Flower Spirit Emperor both came to the Celestial Tin Holy Court headquarters and held the alliance ceremony. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty also knew that your three parties joining forces would pose a great threat to it. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. During the alliance, they dispatched 6 oldest ones to try to disrupt the alliance ceremony. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. They even uttered harsh words, saying that ancestor sacrificing to the Tao of heavenly talismans had already broken through to the perfect other shore, and forming an alliance was just courting death. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, this did not shake the determination of Mount Suppressing Divine Master and Burial Flower Spirit Emperor. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty had always acted arrogantly and domineeringly. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The two forces had deep-seated grievances with it and could not possibly submit to it. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Although you were a rising star, you were also almost a mortal enemy of the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. So, you could only burn your bridges. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. After the three parties formed an alliance, you and Jehu Divine Court respectively dispatched large armies and experts to Burial Flower Spirit Realm to resist the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This significantly eased the pressure on Burial Flower Spirit Realm, which had lost 1/3 of its territory. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Burial Flower Spirit Emperor was extremely grateful for this alliance. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. With your two loyal and reliable allies, especially you, the human emperor of great virtue and kindness, she believed that Burial Flower Spirit Realm would definitely overcome this crisis. Close black lens bracket. 777. The Heavenly Ways Hunting Order, a deadly alliance. The fox using the tiger's power to bully others, the Blood Soul Sword Emperor. However, the Burial Flower Spirit Empress wasn't happy for long. Suddenly, a strange fluctuation entered the minds of all the ancestors sacrificing to the Tao and other shore realm powerhouses. Anyone who kills Lu Chengsheng of the Celestial Tin Holy Court within 100 years can freely imprint all time nodes. As soon as this news came out, the heavens and earth shook. That so many powerhouses received the message simultaneously, many knew this must be the legendary Heavenly Tao Hunt Order. The Heavenly Tao Hunt Order has only appeared twice in history. This is the third time. And looking at the reward, it is even more astonishing than the previous two. The cultivation of the other shore realm is to constantly trace back to the past and occupy all time nodes. Then connect the points into a line, continuously pushing one's divine soul imprint to more ancient time and space. Until all timelines are occupied, becoming a perfect other shore. This process is naturally extremely difficult. Imprinting each time node is not easy. Especially some large time nodes, which involve many powerhouses and require various layouts and schemes. And connecting points into a line is even more difficult. In short, the cultivation process of the other shore realm is extremely arduous. If one is not careful, they can provoke powerhouses in the past time and space, easily leading to death and the loss of all Tao practice. Now, as long as you are killed, one can freely imprint all time nodes. In other words, the Heavenly Tao is giving an opportunity to become a perfect other shore. Even if an ordinary other shore kills you, they can break through to perfect other shore in a very short time. Of course, with your strength, ordinary other shore and even ancient one have no chance at all. However, they have no chance, but that doesn't mean the ancient ones don't. If they kill you, they can quickly break through to perfect other shore. The temptation is unimaginable. You didn't expect the Heavenly Tao to erupt so quickly. Although you are now sacrificing to the Tao other race on a large scale, it will take at least 2 to 3 years for the human Emperor Palace to reach the advancement standard. Not to mention, its advancement and transformation also require time. This makes your situation quite dangerous. Fortunately, you still have 2 powerful allies, they should be able to hold on for a while. You thought with relief. However, you were very relieved about this, but the expressions of the powerhouses of the Jehu Divine Court and the Burial Flower Spirit Realm were exceptionally strange. An alliance is not just a verbal agreement, a heavenly Tao oath must also be made. Otherwise, wouldn't it mean betrayal is possible just by saying so? And the Jehu Divine Court and the Burial Flower Spirit Realm had just allied with you when a heavenly Tao hunt order was issued against you. This means that not only will they not receive the reward, but they also have to advance and retreat together with you, resisting external enemies together. Therefore, their mood was indescribable. To discuss how to deal with this heavenly Tao hunt order, the high-level officials of the 3 forces quickly gathered again. As soon as the God Lord Jehu met you, he said, "My brother, you are not being fair. A heavenly Tao hunt order came right after we allied. You knew about this long ago and deliberately allied with us to trick us, right?" You quickly waved your hand, saying it was absolutely impossible. You also just found out that the heavenly Tao had issued a hunt order against you. You said that you are a person of great virtue and kindness, who always does good deeds and has never done anything that harms the heavens or reason. Logically speaking, the heavenly Tao should not issue a hunt order against you. Excluding various factors, the only possibility is that the celestial talisman old ancestor interfered with the heavenly Tao, wanting to put you to death. The celestial talisman old ancestor even wanted to use this move to kill the heart and disintegrate the 3-party alliance from within. Otherwise, it's impossible for a hunt order to come right after the alliance was formed. God Lord Jehu and the Burial Flower Spirit Empress nodded. The 2 masters of the forces had also considered this situation. A perfect other shore, occupying all timelines, is almost an incarnation of the heavenly Tao and can indeed interfere with the heavenly Tao. But this probability is relatively small. Because interfering with the heavenly Tao to issue a hunt order will pay a huge price. It is no less than a life and death struggle with another perfect other shore. Therefore, if the celestial talisman old ancestor were to do this, it would be better to just attack directly. Seeing that the 2 didn't seem to believe you much, you decided to reveal another shocking secret to increase their confidence. You asked them if they weren't curious why your strength had increased so rapidly. The Burial Flower Spirit Empress said she was naturally curious, but this involved your secret, so they didn't feel it was appropriate to ask. You said this was indeed a secret, and a very big secret, because you are the carrier of the Supreme Taoist Lords, doing subtraction to seek emptiness. The 2 were greatly surprised upon hearing this. As ancient ones, they naturally knew about the Supreme Taoist Lord. This person has lived through several great kalpas of destruction, and it is rumored that he might break through to perfect other shore. But you said he has already begun, doing subtraction to seek emptiness, so he is not as simple as a perfect other shore, but close to the quasi-transcendence realm. Only when one reaches that level does one begin, doing subtraction to seek emptiness. You said that every once in a while, you will carry a part of the Supreme Taoist Lord's power, which is why you have advanced by leaps and bounds. Of course, in reality, the Supreme Taoist Lord only bestowed upon you one opportunity, which is ultimate balance. You have not yet begun to inherit his power. However, this does not prevent you from using this to increase credibility. It must be said that this news caused no small shock to the 2 masters of the forces. If you are the carrier of the Supreme Taoist Lords, doing subtraction to seek emptiness, then everything makes sense. The celestial talisman old ancestor did not dare to attack you personally, so he could only use this method to put you to death. As for whether you are lying, although there is this possibility, the probability is very small. Because at this realm, every word and action must bear karma. If you dare to talk nonsense, the karma of the Supreme Taoist Lord is not so easy to bear. The 2 masters of the forces no longer blamed you, but firmly stated that they would stand with you and jointly resist the heavenly Tao hunt order. If you need anything, you can tell them at any time. Afterward, the 2 left. On the night they left, a shocking blade light descended from the void, seemingly intending to split the headquarters of the Celestial Tin Holy Court in half. The power of this blade light was so strong that you could only barely resist it after all 3 of your Tao bodies used the yin-yang reverse death art. Failing to hit, the person behind it left. Among the ancient ones, there are not many who are proficient in the blade Tao. You quickly found out that this was an ancient one who had lived through 3 great kalpas of destruction, the Blood Soul Blade Emperor. His strength is already infinitely close to perfect other shore, and he is an absolute powerhouse among the ancient ones. Fortunately, the power of the myriad people during this period has increased your strength by several times again. Otherwise, with that single blade strike just now, you estimate that all 9 of your Tao bodies would have to use the yin-yang reverse death art to block it. The Blood Soul Blade Emperor probably saw that you could block it without using your full strength, which is why he retreated. 778. The news leaked, and the people's hearts grew. Together they attacked, and the heavenly talisman took action. Open black lens bracket. However, this incident also made you more vigilant. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Afterward, your true body had been hiding in the human emperor palace, with everything in the outside world handled by your Tao body. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Not long after, this matter spread, further astonishing people about your strength. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. At the same time, the fact that you were the vessel for Supreme Taoist Lord's subtraction and seeking emptiness was also spread, causing quite a stir. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You had only mentioned this matter to God Lord Jehu and Burial Flower Spirit Empress, it could only have been one of them who leaked it. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, God Lord Jehu and Burial Flower Spirit Empress quickly sent people to clarify, stating that they kept their mouths shut and implying that the leaker was the other person. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You didn't care who leaked it. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This news spreading didn't bring you much harm, instead, it could form a certain deterrent. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. It let others know that you also had backing. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Afterward, the assassinations against you indeed subsided significantly. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. For 6 consecutive months, you were not subjected to assassinations by the ancient ones. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. During these 6 months, you gathered 80% of the popular support of the Azure Abyss Ancient Dynasty. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This increased your strength by more than half again. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Of course, this was still far from 99% of the popular support in the original territory of the Celestial Tin Holy Court. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But this was only because the time was too short. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Give you a few more years, or even 10 years, and you believed that popular support could reach such a level. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Especially since your human emperor palace could sense the changes in popular support. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. If popular support declined in a certain place, there must be a problem with the management there. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. At that time, there would naturally be imperial envoys from the Holy Court going to handle it. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Under your methods, corrupt officials in the Celestial Tin Holy Court were extremely rare. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Even if there were any, they were the kind who took money and got things done, not the kind who took money and made empty promises. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. In fact, you didn't care whether officials were corrupt. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. As long as they could increase popular support for you, everything was fine. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Otherwise, even if they were honest officials but managed poorly, you would still remove them. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. In your Celestial Tin Holy Court, ability was everything. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Otherwise, cultivating a group of upright officials who only knew how to speak empty words would be useless to you. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, such days only lasted for half a year. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. On this day, half a year later, you were in court when suddenly more than a dozen forces erupted from the void, directly obliterating you and the entire palace. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Your Tao body instantly died on the spot, without even a chance to react. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This was a combined strike from more than a dozen ancient ones. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Most of them came from the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty, and Blood Soul Blade Venerable was among them. You were not familiar with the auras of the other few, they seem to be reclusive individuals. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, after destroying the palace, none of them received a reminder from the heavenly Tao. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. They had originally agreed to attack simultaneously, and then see who delivered the fatal blow. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Unexpectedly, this was not your true body. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Kun Peng ancestor sneered, it doesn't matter. With so many of us, even if we didn't kill his true body just now, we can still find his true body and kill it. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, his words had just fallen. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Your remaining 8 Tao bodies simultaneously attacked, setting up a peerless killing array, trapping them within, and using the ultimate balance technique to suppress their strength. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Compared to the last time, the Tao body's strength had clearly increased significantly again, making it impossible for the more than a dozen ancient ones to escape in a short time. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. After a few more breaths, the 11 ancient ones from the Junyu Divine Court and Burial Flower Spirit Realm received the news and arrived one after another. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This caused the more than a dozen ancient ones to repeatedly change expressions. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This time, the offensive and defensive positions were reversed, they might even have to die here. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Kun Peng ancestor, it was all your 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty's terrible idea. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. A strange reclusive ancient one couldn't help but roar in anger. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. They came to snatch benefits, not to leave their lives here. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Kun Peng ancestor was also covered in sweat. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. He also didn't expect your strength to increase so quickly. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Only half a year had passed, and it had increased several times again. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. It seems that the matter of you being the vessel for Supreme Taoist Lord's subtraction and seeking emptiness is mostly true. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Otherwise, your strength couldn't have increased so rapidly. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. 10 breaths of time passed. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Fire Spirit Forefather, the weakest among the crowd, could no longer hold on, and his body was shattered into pieces. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Just as the group of strong individuals was gradually falling into despair, a Tao character rune broke through the air from the horizon, directly breaking open the great array, enveloping everyone, and disappearing from the spot. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. With such power, it was definitely a perfect other shore taking action. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. If the guess is correct, it should be that Celestial Talisman Old Ancestor. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The earliest batch of Tien Fu clan were transformed from rule runes during the time of indifferentiated chaos, and they were naturally proficient in various great Tao runes. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Because they were too heaven-defying, they were later targeted by strong individuals from various races during the Third Great Destruction Tribulation and suffered heavy casualties. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This Celestial Talisman Old Ancestor is from the second batch of Tien Fu clan, possessing extraordinary talent. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. That he could break through to the perfect other shore while bearing a deep blood feud can be considered a generation's hero. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. If he hadn't been your enemy, you would have wanted to become sworn brothers with him. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Even if he died, you could still help him carry forward the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Just like your elder brother, Tianshi Saint Lord. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Unfortunately, you were not on the same path after all. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Since it was Celestial Talisman Old Ancestor who took action, you naturally wouldn't pursue. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Perfect other shore occupies all timelines, and the gap in strength with the ancient ones is huge. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Even if you used all your methods, it would be difficult to harm him in the slightest. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Since he didn't attack you now, you naturally wouldn't court death. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Next, you reversed time and space, restoring everything in the palace. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. There were many experts in the palace, but no other strong individuals. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This was naturally a preparation you made in advance. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Ever since the Heavenly Tao Hunt Order appeared, the palace had been the most dangerous place. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. All human race other shore were not allowed to approach. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Otherwise, if you had to resurrect them, the cost would be significant. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. After this battle, your reputation soared again. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Even more than a dozen ancient ones working together couldn't deal with you. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Everyone could see that unless a perfect other shore took action, no one could do anything to you. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. In the transcendent saint realm, besides celestial talisman old ancestor, there are only 3 perfect other shore on the surface, coming from the chaos clan, demon clan, and human race respectively. All of them are hidden in the dark and have not appeared for a long time. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. For a perfect other shore, the reward of the Heavenly Tao Hunt Order is useless. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, they could seriously injure you and let their juniors claim the reward. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But in that case, the karma of Supreme Taoist Lord would also have to be weighed by all perfect other shore. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Currently, the most likely perfect other shore to attack you is only celestial talisman old ancestor. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The ambition of the Tien Fu clan is known to everyone. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Even the heavenly mystery Holy Land supports a member of the Tien Fu clan to become the sacred emperor of the transcendent saint realm. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. And the celestial Tin Holy Court is currently the biggest obstacle. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The Tien Fu clan wants to become the sacred emperor, they must resolve you. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. It just depends on whether celestial talisman old ancestor is willing to bear the karma of Supreme Taoist Lord. Close black lens bracket. 779. The human palace has transformed, the allies have died, and the undead race has died. Has Lu Chengsheng's conscience been eaten by a dog? In this battle, the celestial Tin Holy Court once again established a formidable reputation. God Lord Junyu and Burial Flower Spirit Empress both gained great confidence in forming an alliance to oppose the 8 Desolations divine dynasty. But you remained vigilant in times of peace, sensing the surging currents beneath the iceberg. Originally, intelligence indicated that the celestial talisman old ancestor would only act after 5 years, but now he has been forced to act prematurely. It's uncertain whether he will target you personally next time. However, worrying further is useless. The speed at which the human emperor palace refines other shore of the other race has reached its limit. It will take at least 2 more years to advance. For the next period of time, it was calm. The celestial talisman old ancestor, whom you worried about, did not act again. Only after the ancient ones of the 8 Desolations divine dynasty returned, they began to deepen cooperation among various races and expand their military strength. It seems this crisis made them more united. 2 years passed in a blink of an eye. Your human emperor palace, having refined hundreds of other shore of the other race, finally reached a certain limit and began to undergo transformation. The 5-clawed golden dragon also fell into a deep sleep. As for how long this transformation would take, the 5-clawed golden dragon said before falling asleep that it would be at least 3 years. Adding the previous 2 years, this means 5 years later, the risk of the celestial talisman old ancestor acting greatly increased. However, you still have the trump card, Divine Descent Art. It carries a great karma, and unless absolutely necessary, you wouldn't want to use it. Otherwise, it's enjoyable for a while, but dealing with the karma later will be troublesome. Especially for someone like you, who repays favors. You are exceptionally cautious when it comes to karma, especially the karma you owe others. Time flowed by. You organized internal affairs while waiting for the human emperor palace's transformation to complete. There is a world of difference between Hongmeng spiritual treasure and Hongmeng supreme treasure. The former is merely a partial manifestation of the great Tao. Even if its power is astonishing, it cannot affect the past. The latter, however, is at the fundamental conceptual level, with an influence that penetrates space-time and distorts karma. For example, the great evolution fate plate carried by successive successors of the heavenly mystery Holy Land. It can arbitrarily alter the historical information of others. Even a human race can be altered to a demon clan, and the perception of all surrounding figures will change, as if it were natural. What changes is not only the perception of historical figures, but also the perception of all other shore realm. Even if another shore realm knew this person before, with the alteration of their information, the other shore realm's perception of this person will also change. Only a perfect other shore, occupying all timelines and being perfectly flawless, can detect a hint of abnormality. For example, there is another transcendent force that often appears during the Great Tribulation of Annihilation, the Tribulation Annihilation Holy Sect. The sect possesses a Hongmeng supreme treasure called the Tribulation Annihilation Holy Sword. Anyone killed by this sword will not only die completely but also disappear from all records and the memories of all living beings. It's as if this person is completely erased from the world. Only a perfect other shore can retain some memories. Therefore, the terror of a Hongmeng supreme treasure is beyond imagination. The human Emperor Palace was originally also a Hongmeng supreme treasure. The heavenly mystery Holy Land paid a great price to dismantle it. You, with your great virtue and kindness, obtained a core fragment of it. Now, helping it return to the ranks of Hongmeng supreme treasure, you wonder what functions it will have. 2.5 years passed in a blink of an eye. If everything goes smoothly, the human Emperor Palace will complete its transformation in another half year. And at this time, Gongsun Ce visited again. His visit was still the same as the last time, trying to persuade you to submit to the 8 Desolations divine dynasty. He said that the celestial talisman old ancestor had come out of seclusion and could act at any time, advising you not to overreach. You said that you have the supreme Taoist Lord behind you, so would the celestial talisman old ancestor dare to kill you? Gongsun Ce said that even if the celestial talisman old ancestor didn't dare to kill you, he could seal you up or expel you to another place. Your celestial Tin Holy Court is destined to be lost. Your expression was displeased, but you did not immediately order him to leave. Instead, you left a hook. You said that your celestial Tin Holy Court is the most powerful entity among the allied forces. If they want the Tianxi Saint Lord to submit, they should first deal with the Jehu Divine Court and the Burial Flower Spirit Realm. You said that if the 8 Desolations divine dynasty could conquer the Jehu Divine Court and the Burial Flower Spirit Realm within 3 years, then they could come talk to you about surrender. Gongsun Ce clapped his hands and laughed, then it's a deal. Looking at Gongsun Ce's confident back, you sighed. Sorry, you didn't intentionally betray your allies, you just wanted to use them to buy some time. Once your human Emperor Palace advances, you will find a way to help them restore their nations. Afterwards, you issued an order for all high-level combat power of the human race to enter a secret realm you created to undergo your secret training. Not long after this group of high-level combat power from the Celestial Tin Divine Court disappeared, the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty split into 2 routes and attacked the Jehu Divine Court and the Burial Flower Spirit Realm. The 2 major forces immediately requested aid from the Celestial Tin Holy Court. However, the reinforcements they received were some ordinary other race slaves with mediocre strength. This completely dumbfounded the Jehu Divine Court and the Burial Flower Spirit Realm. No, when you were in danger before, our experts went all out. Now that we are in danger, you send us some other race slaves to die, is that it? Who needs your few other race slaves? God Lord Jehu and Burial Flower Spirit Empress suppressed their anger and asked, where are those other sure experts of the human race? According to the alliance, they are obligated to act. The messenger who delivered the soldiers replied, they all followed the Saint Lord of the Holy Court to a secret realm for special training. Since they cannot be contacted, they are temporarily unable to act. This doesn't violate the alliance, does it? What the hell, you're doing this on purpose, aren't you? God Lord Jehu and Burial Flower Spirit Empress were furious, cursing the Celestial Tin Holy Court for being untrustworthy and saying that Lu Chengsheng's conscience had been eaten by dogs. The messenger was a little unhappy. Your reputation within the Celestial Tin Holy Court is well known, who doesn't praise you? Resources are distributed exactly as promised, and those major forces are raided and exterminated as declared. Your conscience is even better. Cultivation for all, fair distribution, birth rewards. Which one doesn't benefit the common people? This attack by the 8 Desolations Divine Dynasty was clearly sudden, and you didn't have time to react. How is that being untrustworthy? How is that having no conscience? These other race are all the same, they only find fault with others and don't reflect on themselves. The messenger couldn't help but secretly despise them in his heart. Half a year passed in a blink of an eye. During this half year, the Celestial Tin Holy Court consistently adhered to the principle of, when friendly forces are in trouble, remain as still as a mountain. They sat back and watched the Junyu Divine Court and the Burial Flower Spirit Realm lose large areas of land. Of course, they didn't completely sit by and do nothing. Every time the 2 major forces came for help, the Tianxi Saint Lord would send them some other race slaves and say that it was okay even if they all died. The 2 major forces were both angry and frustrated. And at this time, the human Emperor Palace finally successfully advanced, transforming into a Hongmeng Supreme Treasure. 780. The Evil Emperor Palace was born, amazing changes. The 10 levels of life and death, the residual souls of heroes. The radiance and phenomena produced by the birth of the Hongmeng Supreme Treasure simply could not be concealed. Large swaths of evil energy surged into the sky, forming various humanoid evil spirits, displaying scenes of disaster for all living beings, shaking the entire transcendent saint realm. Countless powerhouses opened their eyes and looked up at the sky. With this phenomenon, the evil Emperor Hall must have appeared. Many people began searching for the source of the phenomenon and quickly locked onto the Celestial Tin Holy Court. The evil Emperor Hall will definitely appear with the evil Emperor. Could it be that the evil Emperor reincarnated as a human race this time? Who could it be? The human race has so many people, it's hard to guess. And you, as the center of the storm, are currently walking into the upgraded human Emperor Palace. Compared to before, the human Emperor Palace is more majestic and imposing. The floor tiles beneath your feet display the topography of the ruled territories. The palace roof displays the Saint Realm's map of mountains, rivers, and destiny, allowing you to view the human race's destiny power in various places. The palace walls are engraved with the history of the human race's rise and fall since its birth. In the center of the Great Hall are 3 fire altars, with flames of 3 colors, green, red, and white. Among them, the green flame is for agriculture, the red flame is for conquest, and the white flame is for education. If the 3 flames are unbalanced, it is easy to cause societal upheaval. And you walked step by step to the more imposing dragon throne. To be precise, it was the human emperor throne. When you sat down, you felt an even more surging power of the people rushing in, directly doubling compared to before. It's not that your power of the people suddenly doubled. Rather, the human Emperor Palace has a higher conversion efficiency for the power of the people, providing a greater power boost to you. Don't think it's only double. In the past, within your territory, as long as a human race was willing to submit to you, you could obtain all of his power. This doubling means that if one person submits to you, you can obtain double his power. Perfect other shore powerhouses are no exception. This effect is extremely heaven-defying. It can only be said that it is indeed a Hongmeng Supreme Treasure, completely shattering the law of conservation. Of course, the human Emperor Palace's abilities are not limited to this. Your various talents have also been greatly enhanced. Your infinite enlightenment has reached the 10,000-fold limit. You must know that after becoming the human race's leader, you have consumed countless top-tier rare treasures that increase comprehension. Moreover, you can also use the Tai Shi Dao to create them yourself. Your basic comprehension has long been comparable to the ancient ones, almost incapable of further increase, only increasing with the improvement of your strength. Now, increasing it by another 10,000 times is definitely much more terrifying than the perfect other shore's comprehension. It has definitely reached the quasi-transcendent realm. This is of great benefit to your comprehension of the 5 great innates Tao. Your eye of illusory breaking has also changed. Everything in the 365 saint states of the transcendent saint realm is almost invisible to your eyes. You can see the distant 8 desolations divine capital. You can also see various demon clan worlds deep underground. However, these demon clan worlds seem to be preparing for war, with the intention of attacking the surface. Outside the 365 saint states, you can only see a small portion, most are shrouded in mist. Those places are undeveloped outer regions, where the great Tao rules are chaotic. Of course, various strange creatures will also appear. Besides the above 2 talents, the most important ones are world's unification and void destiny, which have also been greatly enhanced. After you activated these two talents, all of your aura instantly disappeared from the transcendent saint realm like a perfect other shore. The saint realm heavenly Tao could not even find your whereabouts, let alone know if you were dead or alive. The heavenly Tao hunt order originally had a positioning ability, allowing people to vaguely sense your location. But at this time, this sensing ability also disappeared. All powerhouses above the sacrificial Tao were puzzled. Did you fall, or what happened? Then, you revealed your aura again. The Saint Realm Heavenly Tao seemed to know that the hunt order had become ineffective and judged that you had passed the Heavenly Tao tribulation. A large amount of cultivation feedback surged in. You broke through the 10th level of life and death. Your strength has increased by more than tenfold. This is the biggest increase. But considering the difficulty of the Heavenly Tao tribulation, this is completely what you deserve. The Heavenly Tao hunt order has appeared twice in history. One was the leader of the demonic Tao, and the other was someone who violated a Heavenly Tao taboo. Those two powerhouses, after receiving the Heavenly Tao hunt order, both died. Only a person of great virtue like you survived. Of course, your survival is not only due to the human Emperor Palace and your own strength. It also relies on the invisible merit accumulated from your usual good deeds, which protected you. If you were like the previous two, having committed all sorts of evil, you probably wouldn't have survived. Now, your conventional combat power has reached the level of the Ancient Ones. If you use the Yin-Yang Reverse Death Art, you are almost invincible among the Ancient Ones. But there is still a significant gap compared to the Perfect Other Shore. The reason why the Perfect Other Shore is crowned with the word perfect is that they have perfected all aspects to the extreme. Even if the Yin-Yang Reverse Death Art can increase your combat power by dozens or hundreds of times, it is difficult to compare with the Perfect Other Shore. However, when you bring out your strongest 10 in one form, if a Perfect Other Shore wants to kill you, you can still resist a few moves. The Evil Emperor Hall had just appeared not long ago. Your Heavenly Tao hunt order disappeared. The powerhouses outside began to speculate whether you were the reincarnated Evil Emperor. You used the Evil Emperor Hall, this Hongmeng Supreme Treasure, to shield the Heavenly Tao's perception. Otherwise, it is difficult to explain why everything is so coincidental. After breaking through, you left the Human Emperor Palace and came outside. You saw that the phenomenon of the Human Emperor Palace's upgrade had not yet dissipated. You looked at the humanoid monsters emitting black energy in the sky and frowned, saying, "These are evil spirits, right?" Then, you immediately turned your gaze to the 5-clawed golden dragon, which was now a size larger, and questioned him sharply, "Why is there a phenomenon of evil spirits causing harm to all living beings when the Human Emperor Palace upgrades? Explain this to me." This. The 5-clawed golden dragon, who had just completed his breakthrough and was beaming with pride, began to sweat on his forehead. He was already deeply bound to you, and although he had upgraded to a Hongmeng Supreme Treasure, he still did not dare to defy you. He knew that you were a person who valued face, a kind-hearted person. If he couldn't give you an explanation, he would probably be punished. But the facts were right in front of him, and it seemed difficult for him to argue. Should he admit it? No, that won't do. That would undoubtedly be challenging you and would lead to a worse death. He began to think from your perspective. If it were you, what would you do? Soon, a flash of inspiration struck him. Clearly, he had gained valuable experience from your past experiences. He said with a tragic expression, "No, Master, you've misunderstood. These are not evil spirits, but the residual souls of heroic spirits who sacrificed themselves for the survival of the human race.